I mean, I figured that. Oh, go up. You said go live and finish a combo, or go live after we finish a combo.
No, we're going live now.
Okay. Well, now I see for.
All right, go ahead.
How you are?
As you were saying.
Well, we'll wait for some people to get in here, though.
Yeah, man. So we gained some new subs. Trey J subbed, Sputicus Maximus subbed, Markela Sight sub, Chris Cobra came back, Sugar Addict came back, Don Gamer came back.
We need some merch, I think.
At 207 subs?
Well, I mean, I guarantee you we'd have a lot of people supporting that. I mean,
yeah,
they love this shit.
Yeah, I know. It's a
they truly love it. I mean, it's not like for us to make money. I mean, because we're not making money off 200 some subs buying merch. But I mean, it would just be. I think it's more for the fans. You know, the few fans that we have that have stuck around all the time.
Yep.
To be able to have the shit there with them, I think that'd be pretty cool for them.
What's going on, Cyrus? Welcome, Rajik. What's going on, fellas? We're gonna get this tweeted out. Let's see.
I was wondering why my remote play for my PS4 wasn't working, and I don't know. I think it's not even connecting to the internet. Oh, it is connecting. Haha! Now I can play some PS4 games while I'm out here. Oh, come on! Don't fuck up on me. Whew, that's a terrible connection. Trying to do this over 2.4 gigahertz is not cool.
What's good, Go Get? Jay Caesar, welcome, man. How's it going, brother? Welcome.
What is up, guys?
Oh yeah, episode 51.
Okay, screw the remote play. I'm just gonna play a local Vita game because damn, that was terrible.
That bad, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it was like going in and out and back and forth, and I'm like, okay, well, I can't do this. This is too fucking much.
You're like, this is just not a good. This is not a thing.
No. What are you laughing at JTech for, Jay Caesar? I mean, I don't watch his shit, so I don't know what's going on.
I don't watch his shit either. I avoid his shit like the plague. I don't go over and say hi to him. I don't visit. Although he likes to dip in on us every now and then, I choose not to.
I've blocked him.
I don't acknowledge him.
I've blocked him so that way he doesn't just dip in whenever the fuck he wants to and come back. I'm just tired of people doing that shit.
Yeah, and start shit with you for no apparent reason. Yeah.
I got so tired of that shit happening, so I just said, fuck it. I'm blocking this motherfuckers. What do you tweet? You gotta tell us. I mean, Jay Caesar. You can't just say I'm laughing at JTech and then nothing. That's what you tweet. You got a keyboard there. Explain.
Explain.
That's what all those little letters on that keyboard are for.
Jay.
No, Rajik, I don't like to have cancer. I try to live my life cancer-free.
Kind of person, yeah. I'm not like that.
I'm just one of them things, you know.
I prefer not to be, you know.
Oh, okay. Well, fine, Jay Caesar. You think you're too busy to show us now? Jeez. Like, what are you doing? Like, working or something?
Some of us have 3. Yeah.
3 what? I don't know.
So you'll never guess what kind of DM I just got. Thanks, Brim, by the way.
The DM you just got.
Wait, what? What?
Was somebody asking you? Dude? Was somebody asking you if you could actually get fucked with? If you would fuck them in the ass?
No. Oh. Okay, a DM that I just got was from Metrox, allegedly. Allegedly, saying, "I think I might break up with Gamer Dragon. Can I move back to your house?"
Oh, that message. Okay. All right.
And I said, yeah, this isn't really you, that kind of thing. And he goes, yeah, it's just not working out. His dick is too big. I can't take it anymore.
Okay, well, okay.
And how does that make you feel, sir?
That's random as shit, dude. How long did it take you to cook that one up?
Well, that wasn't me.
Then it was Jamie.
Yes. I didn't know he put the other parts in there, though. That's pretty funny.
That's kind of funny, though, man. That's...
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, well.
I honestly...
Fucking Cyrus.
I honestly didn't know he put all that. I just knew about the first part of the message. I didn't know about the other part. That's funny.
His dick's too big. I just can't take it anymore.
Yo, where's Pete at? Is Pete alright?
I haven't heard from Pete.
Neither have I. So, Rambo was just telling us about Microsoft's Game Pass situation.
Yeah, somebody was talking about how it could be good for the company and everybody involved. It could be good for the consumer and Microsoft both in general. And they said that if they just basically got 10 to 15% of their supposed customer base, that we, supposed meaning what we think it is, meaning that around 35 million things, that would be, that would be a substantial amount of profit that they could turn into other things.
Yeah.
And first of all, there's no way we have to kind of recognize that there's no way that Microsoft can put any third-party games on that Game Pass, or first-party, actually, mind you. Well, I mean, they might have a little bit more control over the first-party games, but without paying the studio something. Because me as say Rockstar, would you allow a game to go on that service without you paying me a fee? Because if that theoretically does not happen, like if they do not give these developers money to put the game on Game Pass, then that means Microsoft is eating all the profit, and the developers are seeing nothing of that, of people playing their games on that Game Pass. So my guess is that they're paying something out. Don't know what the amount is, but they're paying something out. So if you did 10 to 15%, it equals around, if everybody subbed for the entire year to Game Pass, that equals around $675 million. But if you took that math and took the exact same 10 to 15%, and they each bought 2 games per year at $60 each, that's also $675 million. So if you look at it, I mean, I know the average gamer is it's probably less on Xbox than it is on PlayStation, because on PlayStation it's like the average gamer is buying 2 games a year. So I imagine on the Xbox it's probably around 1 game a year. So overall, 1 game a year is being purchased. Now, there's some that, I guess because of people like me and stuff like that, that's actually overcompensating for that, those people that don't even buy a game that year. But if you look at to me, it's going to affect them one way or the other, because it's going to cost somebody like me that would have bought, if they had 10 exclusives that year, all 10 exclusives, to basically only spending $10. So, I mean, it's going to drastically, I think, affect their attach ratio, which would then, in turn, affect their overall bottom line. I mean, granted, they probably worked out some figures in their head, and they've come up with a way that that they think it's going to be profitable for them, or else they wouldn't have done it. I don't think, but I think by looking at, say, the attach ratio and like how many games per year everybody, the consoles being purchased per year, it's kind of like a skewed thing to look at, because you have people like me that spend an unorthodox amount of money per year on each console as far as games. So that makes up for all the 20 or 30 people that I probably make up 20 or 30 people's worth of 1 game per year. And so if I'm not buying any more games, then that 20 or 30 people all of a sudden aren't buying any more games either, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so therefore, like those games that they would have bought, that I would have bought that would have covered them, is no longer there, and I'm only paying $10 instead of, let's say, 20 or 30 games. Let's see, that's times 60. You're talking about closer around. Let me do the math real quick. 60 times, say, $1,200 in games in that year. That's going to be knocked down to $10.
I was kind of thinking the same, Cyrus. I really see, that is a thing though, isn't it? Like that's kind of the risk.
There's another thing too. Yes.
So I mean,
yeah, because somebody actually already tweeted out saying that Sony and Microsoft both made an announcement the same day. Sony showed us exactly why their games are worth spending $60 on. Microsoft confirmed that their games are only worth $10. Of course, it was a joke.
But is it really? Because they don't really put value in their shit like Sony does right now.
Right, but it was a joke on his part, like, just a troll. But I mean, it really is. What is it going to set to the consumer, to the average consumer? Obviously, not the fanboys.
Right. It doesn't. Well, see, like as a fan, but even as a fan, and I can tell you right now, like it does not give me any sense of like stability with this company. Like they act like at first when this console came out, it was the best thing, right? It was better than sliced bread. But now they're like, well, all those games that you guys were paying $60, how about you guys just pay the $10? Now, like you said before, it is a good value. Okay, I'm not saying that it isn't. In fact, because it's so good, and then being at $10, I think it's well worth the money. But at the same time, as it is being worth the money, is it really something that Microsoft has just said, the hell with it, we're giving up on it, and here you go, $10. You guys play whatever the hell you want? Like, you know what I mean? That's kind of how I feel.
It seems like they're running around doing everything they possibly can to try to entice somebody to buy their console. Like, guys, we're giving you all of our brand new games for just $10 a month. I mean, just please come buy it. Like, you don't. There's really no risk involved. In fact, I mean, when you buy a console of Xbox, you're going to get a free Game Pass. So, then depending on which console you buy, you might actually get 3 months free. So, I mean, you could actually, like, the way I actually used to do my console with Xbox. Buy a console, play a couple of games, sell it. With me being part of Best Buy's Elite Plus program, I have now, instead of 45 days to return it, I have 90 days to return my Xbox. So I can walk in there, buy an Xbox, get either the 3-month or the 1-month Game Pass. Box it, bring it home, unbox it, play the games, box it back up, take it back to Best Buy, and then wait for the next set of exclusives to come out and do it all over again.
Honestly, though, I think you're leaving out a crucial figure, like what I told you last night. There are people that still use their credit card on these stores. Not always the smartest thing, but they do. And how many times have you forgotten to return something or forgotten to cancel something or know someone that's done that? They're going to make money there.
They will, but I mean, again, like look at where you're talking about like that. Look at if we're saying the ratio is one game, we're just going to say, because we don't know the number specifically, but we're going to say since, PlayStation's sitting at 2 games per year per gamer, we would probably like to think that Xbox is sitting around 1 game. But if you take that 1 game per year per gamer, then you factor in people like me and you and Brim that buy a lot of games, and then take that down to where they're only going to be spending $10 here and there to play the Game Pass. Are they really going to be making up in those accidental not canceling? And over the amount of money that like I would have spent, or all of us together, us 3 together in a year combined would have spent.
And how many people do you think are going to buy a whole year at a time?
Well, it's hard to buy a year at a time. I mean, right now you can't go out and buy a year at a time. You can only buy, like, they have some 6-month pass. At least, well, wait, let me take this back. I've never seen a card for a year. I've only seen the card for 1 month, 3 months, and 6 months. And 6 months was very slim. Like, I barely ever saw that one. The 1 month and 3 months are the ones that I see all the time, like in Walmart and Best Buy and stuff like that. If you go to the store and try to buy it there, you're looking at only signing up once a month. Like just signing up, like for the $10 or whatever, and then just letting it continue taking it off your card.
Well, I guess I'm looking at it this way, Rambo. You look at the EA Game Pass, right? What, $5 a month, and you get pretty much every fucking thing that's available to you through EA. Do you know what you know what that actually did to me as a consumer? Like, honestly, like I thought
it made me not buy any more EA games.
Exactly. That's exactly my point, because I got so, like, I'm like EA'd out right now. No joke. I am seriously EA'd out right now. Imagine, and that's kind of what's going to happen with this, I think, is like people are going to be like, yeah, I'm a little burned out with Microsoft right now. I need to take a break. The games are good. We're not saying they're not. I played way too much.
It is. I mean, that's what it automatically did for me, because like as soon as they announced it, I was thinking, well, shit, cancel my pre-orders for Sea of Thieves. I canceled my pre-order for the Sea of Thieves custom controller. I mean, it simply just took really Xbox off my mind.
Why? Well, you can't get the custom controller through Game Pass. Why would you do that?
Well, because it kind of like took my hype for the game away. Like I was really kind of really looking forward to it, kind of that, but then it just kind of, I don't know why. It's hard to explain, but it just kind of took it away. Like it was just kind of like, oh, okay, well,
that's kind of weird, because that's not what it's doing to me. Like,
yeah,
like
you're still getting it same day.
I'm still gonna be.
Well, I know I'm still getting it the same day. Just that I don't know. I think that whenever when it's done like this, I don't know. It kind of works different with me.
The experience.
Yeah, to me, it felt like it did. Like whenever granted, it's a good value. I'm not gonna discredit that they are doing. It's a very pro consumer move. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I think that might have been the feeling that I felt whenever that happened. But I mean, I know I canceled everything, like all my pre-orders that I had with Xbox's games, and I'll just play them for $10 a month. And if they last on the thing for, I mean, hell, I mean, let's say I'm probably going to get, because the games don't last on there forever. Like once they're on there, they'll rotate.
Yeah, they're like Netflix.
I won't actually be able to wait till December to play all their games for $10, which would be nice. So I'll probably spend maybe $20-$30 total on Xbox all year long. And I don't know. I mean, I just I think, I mean, in a way I'm happy, but in a way I'm also kind of like, yeah. Like, man, like it just really kind of cheapened the experience.
Well, I don't think, like, I can see canceling my pre-order for an exclusive, but a piece of hardware? No, I wouldn't do that.
Well, I got to think, I mean, it's $80 for that fucking controller anyway, so I mean,
if you buy an Elite, there's no excuse for anything else, really.
Well, yeah, I mean, that thing was just gonna sit on the shelf basically, and the more I got to think, I was like, well, that $80 now can go towards, one of the Detroit Become Human, Days Gone, Spider-Man, Dreams, any of those other ones that are coming out on PlayStation, they can go towards that. I mean, to me, it was just there was really just no point in doing it. And me getting back into, controller collection, Microsoft is the wrong fucking company for me to have a controller collection, because they come out with a new one every month.
Do they?
Basically, I mean, it was. Don't you remember? It was like the old meme that they have more controllers than they do games.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, it was always like, we're announcing the new military controller. We're announcing the new military vet controller. Or it was just always like they were always announcing some new controller. And if I was to get into controller collection, it would definitely have to be with PlayStation because they have fewer controllers.
It still wouldn't come up to the amount of money though that you spent on your console. Just saying, you spent.
Oh God,
you spent thousands on the Xbox on the console.
Jesus, like yeah, I've spent
an entire tax
way.
return to be exact.
Yeah, I mean, probably even more actually if you add it up. Let's see, we're just gonna say I had an average because some of them were 500, 2 of them were 500, the rest were about anywhere from $199 to $299. So we're gonna say an average of probably about $300, and I've had 17 of them. I've spent $5,100 on Xbox hardware. Just the consoles.
Damn.
And what, 3 years? I got mine whenever Titanfall came out. So what was that, 2014, 2015?
Something like that.
So since Titanfall released, I've spent $5,100 just on Xbox hardware.
And see, that's kind of my thing too, Jay Caesar. Like, how the fuck are these guys gonna get paid? Like, Microsoft would literally have to go into the negatives to fucking pay them their money. That's
either they're gonna have
what
like
I'm
a
worried about actually.
Unless they're gonna have like a shit ton of they're expecting a shit ton of people to sign up for that Game Pass, and like I guess float the make enough money off the Game Pass to pay what they would have missed by game sales. But if that doesn't happen, yeah, Microsoft is gonna have to go in the red with Xbox to pay those studios their money. And that's what I'm worried about is like, are these studios going to eventually end up getting closed down because they can't actually, finance the games? Because Microsoft doesn't finance the entire, or Sony doesn't finance the entire first party games. They'll publish them, but the first party studio makes money off of their game sales, and they have their own, just like PlayStation and Xbox has their own financial separate from Sony and Microsoft. Naughty Dog and 343 and Coalition have their own separate financials from Xbox and PlayStation. And I guess Microsoft is going to share some of the Game Pass money to these studios, but again, I guarantee they're having to pay some of these third-party developers or third-party studios some fee for placing their game on the Game Pass rather than putting it out there for sale for somebody. And yeah, Cyrus, I don't know. I don't know what their long-term plan is on this.
Honestly, I don't think it's gonna affect, and I know it sounds stupid, but I don't think it'll affect as much as you think it will. Like, it is a shit thing to do. Well, it's a shit thing to do and a good thing to do at the same time. But consumers, if I've noticed anything over this generation and even parts of last generation, they don't have any initiative. They never fucking go and do anything. So,
unless they're being slanted by a government official or some fucking popular figurehead of some sort. They're not gonna do shit, dude. They're like.
But how many people bought an Xbox for their secondary console to play the exclusives?
I honestly don't know. I don't look at
out of that 35 million.
You're the only one that I know of.
Oh, there's tons that I know of because you have like J-Dub. Yeah, a lot of the PlayStation guys that I talk to on Twitter own an Xbox, but the Xbox is for their exclusives. But now they've taken all the maybe if they released 6 exclusives, if 3 of them interested the person, now you might turn those 3 game sales into $10, a $10 bill.
I get it. Mathematically, it looks horrible.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. But I don't see that many more people even giving a shit in order to go out and take advantage of this or not take advantage of it. I mean, there's still a place in the market for people that have to have that disc in their hand, that have to have that game in their library rather than on an internet service.
Yeah.
You know who this is good for? This isn't good for early adopters like you and me, Shane. This is better for people that are just getting an Xbox and they don't know what they want to buy. This is good for. This isn't good for later adopters, dude. Like me and Shane, between me and Shane, we own over 90% of the catalog already. So, like, there's really no fucking point to us having this. I mean, it'd be just a waste of money, really. I mean, so if anything.
But now, what about the people? What about how it's going to affect like the actual physical stores?
You mean like GameStop? Well.
Well, no, GameStop.
Those are on their way out
Amazon, GameStop, Best Buy, Amazon. I mean, all the places that sell the actual physical game. Granted, I know that you still have those people that want the physical, but I mean, if it starts dipping into their sales, how are they going to react?
Mm-hmm.
But to me, those like they're on their way out anyway. This might be an extra shove they don't want or need, but physical discs come next generation, I don't believe will be that big of a thing, if a thing at all.
I think they will, because I mean we're still at 70% physical, 30% digital overall. Out of the 650 million or 650,000 games sold on PlayStation and however many sold on Xbox, 70% of those have been physical, 30% have been digital.
Then maybe Game Pass won't be a thing, because it wouldn't be the first feature Xbox has come out with for Live that doesn't make it. I mean, you guys remember when you used to be able to use your avatar and go in like a movie watching room and chill with other people watching the same movie?
Yeah.
That was for like 6 months. Now it's gone. It's just
and not to mention their music service, Xbox Music, went away.
Yeah, Groove Music, it's dead. I mean,
I imagine that. I honestly think that
they had a festival for that thing.
I wonder if they're.
What did they put into that?
I'm worried that their movie store and shit's gonna go away. And move over to like say movies anywhere.
Good.
A service that has.
Good. Like here's the thing.
That's not good because I got a shit ton of movies purchased on.
Well, see, that's you.
You'll always be able to download them.
No. On Groove, you either moved them over to a new service or you lost them.
Oh.
Well, you better get moving some shit over to the new service then.
Well, I mean, right now you can't because until they make a deal with the new service, I can't turn. It's just stuck on Xbox Video, or else I would.
Oh.
I've used a lot of my free money that I've gotten from buying games there, and bought some movies because they were on sale. And they were newer movies or whatever. So I thought, hell, why not? You know, I mean, I'll watch a movie every once in a while, and I mean, that would suck if that ever went away.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, if it'd be beneficial for instead of PlayStation or Xbox having their own movie service, like PlayStation Movies and Xbox Movies, to just partner up with Movies Anywhere or Vudu, and everything that you buy on the PlayStation Store automatically gets loaded into your Vudu library.
I don't know. I guess because I've always viewed the Xbox as a gaming platform, just like I've always viewed PlayStation. I never personally got into purchasing any sort of media outside of gaming on either one of these platforms. That's why I always kind of thought it was a little silly as to why people get so wrapped up in, well, I can buy movies on that platform. Why? Like, you can just buy yourself a cheap smart TV now for like a fraction of the cost of a console and have the same
if you're already
cheaper price. It's just stupid to me.
The thing is, though, is that
purchasing this shit off of a console. It's dumb.
You gotta look at the other avenue. Like if you bought a Xbox or you bought a PlayStation, and you say you don't have a smart TV, like instead of running out and going to buy an extra expensive, going to buy a smart TV, or even another any.
Let me dumb it down further.
Well, I mean,
why not buy a cheap $20 fucking Roku stick?
That's again my point. Like why? Like you're talking about going out and making a separate purchase. If you already have the Xbox in your house, why not just use the Xbox? I mean, if it actually has the movies on there.
I've never done it. That's why I look at it.
Well, I mean,
I've always been against this idea that we should go ahead and put fucking everything on these consoles. It's fucking dumb. Like, I've always been against it. Like, this isn't just this conversation. No, I've been against this since day one. You can ask Shane. Like, I think it's fucking retarded. Like, why are we going to have a ton of fucking movies, anime, fucking television networks that you could stream on your console available on the console when 9 times out of 10, if you've already got yourself a fucking smart TV, yeah, even down to the basic one that Shane's got, the Sony Bravia. He's got one of the first generation ones. Like, almost everybody by now should have one of those. And
yeah, but I mean, even if you
don't want to do the apps on the store on the TV, the Roku sticks are pretty fucking cheap. You can get a knockoff right now for like $10. So much, same price as what you're paying for a service. Might as well just go with that.
But I mean, even if you're doing that, like why? Like I don't understand like how it's how it could be a bad thing considering you're.
No, I'm not saying.
Well, no, I mean instead. What I'm saying is like if you're in there playing a game.
Yeah.
And even if you have a smart TV or a Roku stick or whatever, instead of having to like switch inputs and everything like that, you can simply just boot up Xbox movies or PlayStation movies and watch movies that you actually have, or even one of the apps on the Xbox, like Vudu or something like that.
Why not use the stupid pass-through thing that the Xbox has for TV? I've seen people do that with their consoles. They put a console through that thing, and they're running.
Well, yeah, I know. I mean, you can put your Roku. You can put your Roku through it, but I mean, again, like, well, I mean, what? I don't understand, like, how it's a bad thing because you don't pay for it, like, you don't pay a monthly fee.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying, like, I've been against it since day one. I just care for it personally because I think it's fucking stupid to have all those resources tied up, operating on a whole other software just to fucking watch media when you bought your system originally for gaming. That's why I always thought it was kind of weird that, motherfuckers will be claiming that they're gamers on their PS3s and shit. And yet you see them at like all the way up from like 2 in the afternoon to 2 a.m. watching shit off of Netflix. Like I think it's kind of retarded. Like I'm saying this. You could buy whatever you want. I'm not saying it's a waste of money or anything. Okay, I'm saying as a tech guy, it's a fucking waste of resources. That's resources that we could be using something to do with gaming. But no, we want to put fucking Netflix and Hulu on everything. Because we're so simple.
How is it taking any resources? The only thing, I mean, it's barely downloading just the client, and everything else is like using your internet.
Okay, so you don't.
So I'm trying to figure out like how it's using so much. It's not really using that many.
It's embedded
resources.
in the OS, right? Like some of the stuff on Xbox, I think, is embedded, right? Like you can't get away from it. And the
fucking Blu-ray app is.
The Blu-ray
well, you
app.
Can't. You can't I know you can't download like delete Netflix off of your. Well, you can you can delete it, but because you have to either download it or not. Like you either have to download.
Okay, so Jay Caesar, and to everybody who thinks that I think there's something wrong with it, I don't think there's something wrong with it. I'm thinking in my mind, if you buy yourself a fucking $500 toy, and the first thought to you is, ooh, I want to watch Netflix. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? like
I can understand.
I'm like, yo, I'm gonna play.
I can understand
Halo,
like somebody going out and buying it for
friends,
I can understand somebody like having the feeling about somebody going out and buying, like, say, an Xbox or a PlayStation for Netflix or for their movie program. But if you already have it,
my point though, man, you don't spend $500 as a Netflix player. It's fucking dumb.
But I mean, if on those instances, the people actually went out and bought an Xbox for a Netflix system, then yes, it's completely stupid. But if you already are a gamer and have the thing, then it just seems like it's just as logical to be able to use it for Netflix and pretty much everything that you can, and get your $500 worth.
What about the actual like real stupid part of that is like they give you achievements for watching this shit.
Well,
that's shit.
Don't get me started, man. Don't even get me started.
At least they're not worth points. At least they're not worth actual achievements.
Yeah, but still, it pops up and it's like, those are the only ones on the Xbox that aren't fucking rare.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we could turn that into a whole nother issue with the Xbox.
Oh no, I agree. The first time I used Netflix on Xbox and like achievements started popping up because I was watching like Orange Is the New Black. I was like, what the hell, man? Like, so I was going through everything trying to figure out like what fucking achievements were tied to movie
You're right,
apps.
Blue. You're right. They do on PS3. They have them too. And it's actually, I think it's based on hourly, right? Like it's an hourly thing?
Yeah. But see, I mean, it wasn't actually. Nothing was ever tied to actual points, but they pop up for some reason. It doesn't make sense to even put them in there.
Yeah.
If they're not going to give you any, like, say on PS3 trophies or on an Xbox One any gamer score, like what's the point of an achievement or a trophy popping up if it's not adding to your achievement score and your trophy score? That's weird. To me, that was a waste of resources, for that. But I don't see how Netflix or anything is running resources off of taking resources away from gaming on your console.
But you see how so a while back, I think we talked about this in this podcast. In fact, they had actually ran the Xbox with one of the OSs stripped away from the Xbox, and they said they got somewhere up to like 30 to 40% more power boost on it. Do you remember that, Rambo? We talked about this a while back on this show. Actually, it was season 1. It was way back in the early beginnings of this. A lot of the front end of the OS is ran by API, right? It's just a giant fucking API that runs all the different advertising, all the different applications, and the way it runs. Like, the whole 9 yards is pretty much based on this, okay? If they took out all of that other all the other bullshit, and they took out another OS, which would be great, because I don't see the point in having 3 OSs. It's fucking stupid anyway. That would be one of the things.
It's like having 3 tits. You would if you could. I mean, why not?
Yeah, look at us now. We can barely get games that run 60 FPS, Shane, so come on.
But if you look at it, though...
Can't find any 3-titted women either, but it's still a nice thought, ain't it?
She's waking up, babe. If you look at, like, say, Xbox, Xbox runs off of... I mean, the 3 OSs is the problem for Xbox, but that's Netflix and shit like that isn't the reason why they have three OSs, because PlayStation has all the exact same stuff and only has 1 OS, and it runs so much smoother than the 3 OSs Xbox has. I will fully agree that Xbox really screwed the pooch by putting 3 OSs on 1 fucking system.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. I still don't understand why they...
You don't need an OS to run the front end, an OS to run the middle, and the OS to run the back end. You just need 1 OS to run everything. It really doesn't say much about Windows as a platform if it takes 3 of them to run an Xbox.
Yeah, you know, poor Bill Gates never, ever did learn that sometimes less is more. It is what it is.
Because he didn't know Dewey, right? Yeah, you guys gonna say that's
right.
No, I'm saying I'm just saying it was. I'm not saying just Netflix in this case, Rambo. I'm saying all the streaming services. Like, I see value in Spotify. I see Pandora being good. I see maybe even the YouTube app from time to time. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, sure, let's do that. But it doesn't need to have fucking everything that your Android device has. It's fucking.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying though is that even if it does, like, you can, like, just like I said, like, PlayStation has every app that Xbox has, except, you know, the Xbox movies and stuff is, you know, PlayStation movies.
If I remember correctly, you guys are still running off the Linux as a backend, right? Your back end of your OS is in Linux based, if I remember correctly.
I don't think they're doing Linux based this time.
Are you sure?
But they're running off of the opposite of Windows, whatever that is.
Linux. That's Linux.
But what I'm saying is, like, they're running 1 OS, and everything runs smoother.
Yeah, it does. No,
like,
absolutely. Yeah.
It's quicker and faster, and I mean, there's by people using it for not using it for Netflix, but using Netflix and all these streaming apps and all these different apps, media apps, it still runs smoothly as possible with 70 million consoles out there. Where Xbox, the problem I think that having with resources that Xbox is using resources to cover operating 3 OSs. Like, they need to figure out a way to just cut down the 3 OSs to 1, and I guarantee that thing would be much more responsive and much more smoother. Like, to me, I have so many problems going on to Xbox and, like, hitting something or whatever, and then either having to wait or eventually hitting it again to make it go, or is simply just taking time to load all the pictures of my games into my games and apps section. Mm-hmm. Whereas, like, on PlayStation, I go into one of my folders, they're just there. Like,
you know what's funny? This isn't gonna change anything, but Shane, remember the other night when my internet went down? My Xbox was running faster.
What?
Like, I'm not joking. My shit was snappy, dude. We're talking PlayStation 4 snappy.
Oh yeah, it is.
We're talking fucking uber fucking fast. That was with the internet off. As soon as it kicked back on, my shit slugged back down again.
Yes, whatever the internet does to that Xbox fucks everything up, because whenever you even installing a game, put a disc in there with the internet, like put it, if you buy a disc, the next time you buy one, put it in there, install it with the internet connected. Just install it like you normally would. Delete the game immediately, and we'll time it. Delete the game immediately. Unplug the internet, put the disc in there, and it cuts it down to like maybe an eighth of the time. It's so weird.
Fucking strange.
It is. Like, I don't know what it is about the internet, and whenever you plug it into the Xbox, I think it has decent download speeds and shit like that, but it just makes everything else, like, the responsive time.
It's definitely faster than my base PS4. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's still faster than my base PS4, but still, like, I've noticed right off the bat when my internet went down and I went to go log in and play some games until I came back up, my shit was so goddamn fast. I was like, yo, like, because usually, like, I'm not saying it's terrible right now, because it's not. I'm just saying, like, sometimes every now and then it'll bog down. But when I had the internet was cut off, it was fucking amazing. I was like, yo. Like, my Xbox has never been this fast. What the fuck? Like, okay.
Huh.
You should try it sometime, bro. Like, seriously. Like, just take the internet off of it for a bit and check it out. I'm telling you, it's a huge difference.
Maybe the network adapter is not as good as people make it out to be.
Well, for the downloads, the handles...
Yeah, for the downloads is quick, but... Whatever it is, like the responsive time of all the, just like getting around the OS, like not the OS, but the UI, just seems so much less responsive from when you have the internet hooked up.
There's some kind of disconnect between the data it receives and the operating system. There has to be.
Yeah, you would seem to think so. Yeah.
I wonder if it's just the OS thing though, because like I said before, when they removed one of the OSs, they got something like 30 or 40% more power out of it. So it has to be, dude. Like, it's got to be bottlenecking the system like hardcore, and not just in the performance arena, but more or less in the fucking network arena as well. Because you got to remember, like, when I know it's got to be related to Windows 10, dude. It has to be, because Shay, remember when what's his face was downloading Gears? And it locked up his system? His PC, his actual PC got locked up when he was downloading from Windows 10 Store.
Oh, the Windows 10 Store is slow as shit downloading one of those Play Anywhere games.
Yeah, exactly. That's my thing. Like, I guarantee you it has something to do with the fucking kernel, or the way they got their kernel optimized for the system. Something is up, because it doesn't make any sense as to why my system would be bogged down because the internet's connected to it. It's so stupid.
Like, before Gears of War 4 was like 100 or close to 100 gigs. Like, at launch, I downloaded that on my PC, and it took basically all of the day.
Same thing. When I downloaded it, when it launched that day, it was actually launched one of the days that we were having a podcast, and I was downloading it, and it hadn't finished downloading before we even started the podcast. But I mean, I could go to Steam and download 3 games the size of Gears of War 4 in just a couple of hours. Whatever is going on within Microsoft's system, it's weird.
Yeah,
But I would imagine the 3 OSs confuse each other from time to time.
Yeah, they would have to. There's no way that works in a seamless, environment. There's no way.
I really don't know how a software company thought 3 OSs would be a perfect thing.
I don't think they've ever really knew what they were doing when it comes to Windows. I think they were just so used to having their star pupils lead the way and making the cool shit, and the corporate execs were just there along for the ride being successful. I think that's really the case, because I don't think anybody over there besides like Julie Larson Green and a few others that are actual software engineers know what they're doing. Outside of those few people, I think everybody else are just a bunch of fucking, they're either interns or something. Because I mean, Windows 10.
I thought it was mine.
Windows 10, when it first came out, we were all like pretty amazed by it, and then as soon as it got a little older, with all the shit that came out for it, like they had more fuck ups than anything. And it was like, wow, like what the fuck? Like you guys had such an awesome launch with all the beautiful OS, and they somehow managed to fucking fuck themselves. So, I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
No, they don't.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Windows 10, the reason, I mean, it didn't just, I guess when it launched and still to this day, it runs decent, but it's visually very appealing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, so that's what'll draw you to it real quick.
Yep. I mean, like I said, it really is a good OS. Like this has been my favorite OS actually since 7. Vista was terrible. Windows 2000 was okay. Windows 98 was fucking relative all the way up to 7. Shit, there's still people running off of 98 now, which I think is...
Yeah, 98 wasn't bad at all.
Yeah. So, like, I mean... What was it? Windows XP was a thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty good. So, I mean... Then you go into Vista. Vista was just a hot mess. Broken driver software, broken executions for the kernel, so none of your hardware would ever be optimized to use it. Like, it was just terrible. It was just a horrible fucking OS. And then they could bring out Windows 10, which is like a hybrid of 7 and Windows 8. And it turned out to be really fucking good. Really fucking good.
They can't count to 10, though. They missed 9.
They did miss 9. Wasn't there like
I always thought that was weird.
That took place when they tried to use 9 or whatever? Remember that? Like there was a big thing about it.
Yeah, and I think they counted 8.1 as 9. I mean,
going from the judging of the names of their consoles, we already know that whoever running is in Microsoft or whatever, in the higher ups, they just don't know how to count properly.
Yeah, I mean, you're right on that one.
From the Xbox to the 360 to the One, it's like, yeah, they've pretty much rendered like not being able to talk about the first Xbox at all. Like,
well,
you have to like specify OG Xbox instead of, because you're saying Xbox One, everybody thinks that, oh, that's the first Xbox. No, the third.
They must be illiterate as fuck, because then after the 1, they just started adding letters. S, X. It's like, really, guys? Come on.
And what's weird is they added 2 letters that sound phonetically the same.
Yeah, very true.
I mean,
did you guys see the what?
No, go ahead. You're fine.
No, it was gonna change the subject.
Yeah,
so.
go ahead. You're good.
Oh, all right. Ubisoft has a new gaming assistant app for your phone. Have you guys seen that?
No.
And does it take up all your data?
Well, it's in beta right now, only in Canada. So we're gonna have to get one of our Canadian buddies to check it out for us. But it's like a virtual assistant. I think her name is Sam or something like that, and she talks back to you like you can have her put out a message to your friends to see if they want to game with you later. She'll tell you the exact hours you've played of any Ubisoft game and how far you've gotten in it. I mean, it looks kind of like it could be pretty nifty, but at the same time, it's just for Ubisoft games, and there's not much there.
I guess somebody announced or talked to somebody over at BioWare, but they've confirmed that they are working on a new Dragon Age game.
Oh, that's cool.
But it's weird because they're also working on Anthem, which was delayed till 2019. And Anthem, they said it was kind of like they wanted to get it they wanted to get it perfect because it was a make or break game for BioWare. So they just like working on Dragon Age in hopes that Anthem's going to catch on and be popular, because we all know if Anthem's not that popular, BioWare probably stands a chance of being on the chopping block by EA.
I hope Anthem's good, dude. I want Anthem to be good.
You already know it's going to be loot box ridden. I mean, it's basically Destiny, BioWare's Destiny, and we see how Activision's handled loot boxes in that sense. But I mean, now you take EA into that category, and I can only imagine it's going to have tons of loot boxes. Unless EA just really actually learned their lesson from
from Star Wars.
From Star Wars. But I don't know. I mean, Star Wars, I think the only reason that they backed down was because of Disney. But with BioWare, they own it. So, I mean, they can fuck it up all they want.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like, Anthem, I know a lot of people want to hate it, dude. I know so many people want to hate it. They want to fucking hate it because of what happened, right? And everybody knows that Anthem was, like, the star child of pretty much Mass Effect, you know? And there's a lot of hurt feelings there. There's a lot of anger, and there should be. By all rights, there should be. That whole fan base deserves a better game than what they got.
Than Andromeda?
Yeah, dude. Like, that fan base has every right to fucking hate it and to snarl at it, to fucking... Dude, they have every right to fucking be mad. But, honestly, I want to like it. Like, I want this to be a good game. I really need this to be a good game for me. Because from the previews that I saw of it, the trailer that we saw, the gaming announcement when we streamed it, it just looked really good. It looks so beautiful, man. And like, I want to try it. I want to play it. Like, this is one of those EA games that I'm like actually looking forward towards. And I don't want EA to fuck it up and take that from me, dude. And that's kind of what they did with Andromeda to the Mass Effect fans. They got everybody salivating over it, fucking wanting it, can't wait to have it. They finally got it. And it was a shitty fucking game, dude. It was terrible. It ran like shit. It looked like shit. I mean, we're talking about the most cartoonish fucking situation in video game history to ever take place on a AAA game.
I completely missed the Mass Effect train. Like, it didn't catch my eye. Yeah, it just didn't catch my eye at first. And then 3 looked okay, but still not good enough for me to go buy it. And then I heard enough about it to where I wanted to play it, but it was already like, well, shit, they're already on number 4. So, like, all right.
Yeah, I never played Mass Effect either. So I mean, like, I bought Andromeda because it was really cheap in the store, and I thought, well, shit, I mean, it's not that hard of a platinum, so why not go ahead and just pick it up?
You can't even
but
play
whenever
it, can you? You're just like, you got it. I said, you got it. I bet you can't even really play it and enjoy it, can you?
Every time it's gone into, like, I've gone into my games and apps or whatever in my PlayStation, I'm just like, yeah, I'll get to it eventually. Like, it's not, I have no drive to play it. I can tell you that, like, because I already know that it's shit, you know. And I'm like, I know it's going to be a long shit, so I don't really know if I want to suffer through all that just for a platinum.
I don't blame you.
Because that game, from all accounts, I mean, was just a complete pile of shit. You know, based on.
It was a giant fuck up, dude. That's all it was. It was a giant fuck up. It was a big heaped pile of go fuck yourself to the fan base. That's what I look at as Andromeda. Because the controversy that was behind there, the type of developers that they had on that team, they hated fucking white people. They were racist as fuck. They didn't care whether or not their fan base enjoyed their game, because they saw it as, oh well, we're fucking developing for a group of young adolescent white people. Let's fuck them up and tell them to go fuck themselves, shall we? And that's what they did. That's what it turned out to. It was a ginormous joke. BioWare tried to control the situation by separating all of them and putting them into different groups. That didn't work because it suffered, made Andromeda suffer, and it made the community suffer. It was just a ginormous fuck you to everybody based on a racial, political spectrum.
Yeah,
and it was terrible.
They got themselves way too involved with the politics of the time instead of actually just focusing on the fucking game.
Yeah, like they allowed their politics to get the best of them, and this is why I tell people, like, if you do this kind of thing on a professional level, that means you are contractually obligated to do your fucking job. I don't want to fucking hear your politics, because guess what, motherfucker? Your politics are not exercised by a corporation. They don't have to honor your freedom of speech, just like Twitter no less has to honor ours. If Twitter doesn't like me saying hello to Rambo over the internet and they want to remove my account, they can.
Yeah.
That's just how
there's
it is.
There's no constitutional agreement like with these companies.
Exactly, and everybody thought like because the whole Kaepernick thing, right? Remember when we talked about that? Everybody thought that I had a problem with Kaepernick kneeling, and I was like, no, actually, it's the contrary. I don't give a fuck about him kneeling. This is a business. This is corporation. This is business.
He doesn't have this.
You are serving a fan base. You're contractually obligated to show up and perform. I don't want to see your politics. I don't want to see your personal opinions. I don't want to see any of that. Because at the end of the day, I'm paying for a fucking Super Bowl ticket, not your opinion.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's just the same thing, like, if you were to be in Walmart or
hey,
anywhere.
Omega, what's up, buddy?
If you were to work at Walmart or wherever you're at, and you try to end up having, like, any sort of political stance at the place of place of employment, you're going to be quickly fired because Walmart hired you to do whatever job it is they hired you to do, not make a stand for whatever political, movement you're going on. So same thing with that. To me, it works the same way with the NFL and BioWare.
Yeah, like I could care less if someone's racist, dude. I don't care. I don't care if someone hates white people or if somebody hates Mexicans or Asians. And guess what? I just won't support them. That's all that is, right? But when they sit there and they push their fucking political and their biased agendas in what they do, they should be fired. They should be terminated. It's not about freedom of speech at this point. It's called insubordination. You're not doing what you're contractually obligated to do.
Exactly.
And that's always been my issue. I don't care. I can give two shits about what someone's political agendas are. You want to hate Trump? Hate Trump. I don't give a fuck. Right? You want to tell a bunch of people to go fuck themselves? Go for it. But guess what? Don't expect that company that hired you to keep you on board.
Exactly.
And that's always been
hashtag not my president.
But the problem is that BioWare did. BioWare didn't stand up to these developers that were going out publicly.
They were trying to save face. Did you see how passive aggressive that was? Like they were just like, okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take Manveer and we're gonna put him on another team. They're gonna be totally dedicated to the physics of the game, and that's it.
Yeah, and then basically
part of a bigger team, and even they said that they knew he had issues getting along with everybody.
Yeah, but then they turned around and was like, well, when people actually started tweeting at the developers talking about you let your politics get the better of you instead of actually creating the game. They put a statement saying that they don't condone I guess sending nasty messages to these developers. And I'm like going, but you didn't say shit about your developers sending nasty messages to your actual player base.
Yeah, you didn't take into account that this motherfucker was harassing his online gamers.
Yeah, like you can't have the thing where feel sorry for us, like the poor developers, but you didn't give a shit about the people that you were actually creating the game for.
Exactly. Where was the safety net between developer and fucking audience then? If they want a safety net and protect people, because that's what these guys are for, which is okay. That's their business. That's their corporation. Whatever they want to do, I get that. But where was his boss's voice on Twitter when his employee was harassing their fucking customers? Yo, like I'm gonna tell you right now, Rambo, if that was one of my customers, they would have been fired quicker than shit. I would have fired that motherfucker, and then I would have said, "Hey, do you feel like taking legal action for him doing a smear campaign because of your race?"
Yep.
We will back you 100%. As a company, I feel that would have been more than sufficient. Because
I agree completely.
Yeah, the guy was a fucking douchebag. He treated people like shit because of the color of their skin, and then when he was called out for it, he had his fucking white knights jump in and be like, "Oh, he was just kidding, guys. He was just kidding." I'm like, really? Like that's a joke, huh? So you're gonna tell me if I walked into your same place of employment, get a job there as a concept artist, and joke around about black people, I'm going to be able to keep my job? I doubt that.
Nope.
Yeah, exactly, Omega. Yeah. This is like... one of the things that gets me... Okay, so this is one of the things that has always gotten me heated, all right? This is why I'm kind of heated right now just talking about this. Is because, like, gaming is something that I really love. It's something that we all love. It's something that... like for better or for worse brings us all together as people, right? And whether it's because we're arguing about video games or talking about video games, they all have one thing in common. It's about video games, right? It's really, that's what it is. I've made friends, I've made enemies, I've turned enemies to friends because of fucking video games. And it's something I really love and I really enjoy. And when I see motherfuckers jump up into the spectrum of things and bust out their fucking politics and they're getting paid to do so because the developers are too much of a pussy to stand up for what's right, that thing really that sort of situation really angers me. And games like Andromeda are the prime reason why I believe that politics do not belong in video games or in the entertainment industry as a whole. Like, if you're an actor and an actress, and you're a good actor and actress, and this has happened to me too, I don't want to see your fucking politics. Shut the fuck up. Like, do your job and shut up. Like, that's just, if you're contractually obligated to play a part, play your fucking part. Don't sit there and put your politics on the forefront because you feel like you have the freedom to do so, even though technically you could be fired for even stating that shit. Like, why cause controversy? Why can't we just fucking have fun with each other?
Exactly. That was my main reason for getting pissed off with the whole BioWare situation, is because of that exactly what you said there, and the whole Colin Kaepernick situation.
Yeah, same. Yep.
Everybody was like, "Well, you don't want him to stand up for." I was like, "I don't give a shit what he does. Let him go march and do whatever the fuck he wants to whenever he's not on the field."
Yeah, off the field, that's fine. That's one thing. Not on the field.
I was like, but as soon as he puts that uniform on, he's there to do a job.
Yep.
That's it.
Like, he still isn't on another team.
Well, no, no other team is going to want to hire him because of that reason.
Didn't he get like QC or QD or what the fuck it's called? What is it? Citizen of the Year or some shit?
Yeah. Yeah. To me, the GQ Citizen of the Year, that's fucking dumb as shit.
Oh, Man of the Year or something?
No, you got Citizen of the Year.
That's fucking retarded.
Yeah. They're doing it like everybody. All these companies are making some sort of political stance every time we turn around now. Instead of like used to, companies stayed out of politics for a very damn good reason.
Bro, remember back in like I mean, I'm sure that happened in your first job. Like your first job, like the moment you started talking about politics, they would be like, "Yo, like if you're gonna talk about this, we could just send you home."
It was in the fucking handbook in most of the jobs. Like when you read it, it was like that politics and religion, those conversations are left out.
Mine was weed. You couldn't talk about weed, or well, they didn't like it when you did. I've never given. Hey, Pete, what's up?
You decided to show up.
Yeah.
Sounds sick.
And now you're gonna use the excuse that you're sick. Jesus. Just kidding. Yeah, you sound like you feel like shit.
I do.
So what happened? You got sick again?
Apparently I have rheumatic fever.
Rheumatic fever?
Yeah.
What the fuck's that? I've never heard of that.
It's a long-term thing that happens when strep throat doesn't get treated right.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Fun. At least I know what it is, though.
Well, yeah. Now at least you know what to actually what's going on. That was always a thing. Like before they diagnosed me with MS, is that I would never, even though I can't really do anything about MS, it was still a relief knowing actually what was causing all the fucking problems.
You know.
Shit.
Yeah, just having lots of fun over here.
Will it go away, or
Probably. Just gonna need lots of antibiotics and shit like that.
Apparently stronger ones than they've been giving you.
I think you usually need multiple treatments too. And then because all the antibiotics that I've gotten, it's always been like a 5 or 7 day course. And I think this one you need more like every once or twice a year. You need like a 2-week course or something like that.
And they're gonna have to switch it up so that because your body will become used to the specific.
Something like that, yeah.
Bro, that sucks, man.
Yeah.
How long do they say before you can get over this shit?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't even talked to my regular doctor yet.
hope you get on it, man.
Yeah.
Well, if you need my help with a cure, I did cure diabetes. So I am.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? So I'm somewhat of a expert in this field. For anyone listening or listening in the future, Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper, and Coca-Cola cure diabetes. I know it sounds stupid, but it's the truth.
That sounds pretty stupid.
Yeah.
No, it actually is. Yeah, never mind.
Considering those are like the three main things that if you have diabetes, they tell you to stay away from.
I've had diabetes for like 10 years,
Dude,
and
it's funny though. He's right. Like, so the only thing what we've discovered so far with Shane is like the only things that really affect him negatively are the off-brand sodas. Like he can't have off-brand soda. Like that's literally the thing. I shit you not, dude. I went to the doctor's with him. She was like, yeah, everything seems to be fine. This motherfucker drinks more soda than I do. All right? Like, he drinks Mountain Dew, Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, like it's going out of style. And his doctor's, oh, yeah, everything seems normal.
see,
Like, no joke. It's just
No,
funny. It's funny
I've
as
had
fuck,
the same-
but it's true.
I've had the same kind of weird shit happen too. Like I completely go opposite of what the doctors recommend, and it turns out for the better for me.
Rambo hasn't drank water in like a quarter century.
Yeah.
He's still alive.
Yep. I just don't drink water at all. Just as a rule.
Well, welcome back to Terrible Health Advice with the Game Talk Podcast.
Well, no, seriously, like Shane is. I don't know what's up with Shane's body because Shane's got quite a few other things wrong with him besides diabetes, and somehow everything seems to work out when he drinks regular soda. I just don't fucking get it, dude. Like,
Yes,
I need spinach. I need Mountain Dew. It's the same thing.
I have diabetes as well. That's what the doctor told me they have to check my blood every time now when I go in because of the wonderful fun diabetes.
Not true, Blue Psycho. Rambo is proof.
Yeah, I'm proof of what? Oh no, Blue. That's actually that is fake news. Like,
And
I literally have not drank.
soda.
I have not drank water in I would probably bet 25 years, and I'm still alive. I'm not dying. I mean, technically, everybody's dying, but I'm not dying because of not drinking water.
He may not be in the best shape, but
Yeah, but I'm still in A shape.
he still has all his limbs, kinda.
Yeah, besides minus my foot, but that's not because of water. That's because of MS.
Cyrus, get water from Tide Pods, really?
But technically, I guess you probably could. Water is in everything, so technically, I'm still getting my water, but I do it a different way than what y'all do.
Yeah,
he's like, you know how I get my water every year because I live in Oklahoma. It rains a lot out here. I get that shit through osmosis.
Yeah.
It's whatever it rains. Go outside, kind of, spread your arms.
Fucking
yourself soak
osmosis
some in.
nutrients, sucker.
I take showers. There's plenty of water when you do that.
Exactly.
What's up, Chris?
Hey, Chris.
What's up, Chris?
How you doing there, little buddy?
Tomato.
So God of War got the release date.
Oh yeah, I heard. Did you hear about the little kid edition that's coming out?
The little kid edition. Huh?
It's called Kratos Jr. Edition. It's limited. Only a few people will get it.
No, I don't. Maybe Metrox.
Well, it's not gonna sell really well day one. You know that, right, Rambo?
What, God of War?
Yeah, the only way it'll sell is if everyone pre-orders the digital version because it releases on 4/20. No one's gonna be able to go to the fucking store to buy a game.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, from a Twitter poll, people have said they were going to be smoking and playing that day.
Okay, well, let's hope they go buy it before they smoke, because if it were me, I wouldn't be able to leave the house and hardly be able to dial Domino's phone number. So I would starve and not have anything to play. You don't really have to be a pothead. Well, you do, I guess. Never mind.
He's all, I will be covering the junior edition.
It actually releases the same day, I think, as Nintendo Cardboard.
Does it really?
Yeah, so
you're going to need weed to play that cardboard shit.
It's going to be God of Cardboard.
It's funny. It's true.
Every time I see that cardboard thing, I hear the Toys R Us jingle in my head. Like, I don't want to grow up or whatever.
Toys R Us is closing down like 200 stores.
Yep.
That's sad. Jeffrey the Giraffe. I feel for him. We should start a GoFundMe for him.
Bruh.
GoFundMe first.
We have started GoFundMes or Kickstarters for way worse. So Jeffrey the Giraffe needs some money.
Tater salad. Remember that shit? We were there for that. The tater salad GoFundMe. The guy got up to like hundreds of thousands of dollars to do it. Fucking wealthiest motherfucker, because he thought, hey, I want to create some potato salad. I'm going to teach everybody how to do it. Tater.
You need Labo? Really?
I personally cannot wait for God of War, though. Like, I've got the digital... I actually have been having the digital edition pre-ordered, but now they've upped the thing to the digital deluxe, and so they let me add it for $10 more. And so I got that, and I have this Stone Mountain or Stone Masons edition pre-ordered as well, so that'll come with a physical copy. Now all I need to do is actually just release a custom PS4 Pro, and I'll be set.
Dude, your wife is not going to let you go get another PS4 Pro.
On that, I think she probably would, because I could talk her into, like, babe, it's God of War, like, because she loves God of War.
Yeah, so does Val. Val loves God of War. She loved when I was playing Kratos and going through all the shit. Like, cause I played all of them right in front of her. She loved that story.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, same here. My wife is like all about God of War. So
yep.
I think I could.
God of War and Final Fantasy are my girl's favorite shit.
I think I could get her on board, because she let me pre-order or buy the digital deluxe edition of Uncharted 4, the console that came with the physical game of Uncharted 4, the collector's edition of Uncharted 4, and the limited edition of Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
I ended up having like 4 copies of the game.
She really got into Last of Us with me as well. Like, she got really, like, she actually started crying when the kid died. She's like, I can't believe
Sarah? Yep.
Yeah, she got really emotional, just like I did. And because remember when Sony was really pressing that game on it's like one of the most advertised games ever. Like, it was on TV almost every day. Every other commercial was like Last of Us. And she got that game for me because of that. Actually, she liked that really, because she's really into survival horror. She loves zombies. That's like her favorite thing. So she saw that and she thought, well, that looks really good, and she got into it with me. And yeah, I mean, it was a really good experience. I didn't get to finish it in front of her, but like she for the most part, she got the gist of it and what it was about.
Yeah, go get $100 for a Gears of War 360. That's cheap for a custom console.
Wait,
yeah,
really? That is pretty cheap. Really, $100?
Yeah.
Brand new or used? That has to be used.
Oh,
used. That's used. Yeah, it was at GameStop.
Because them motherfuckers are expensive. Even to this day, you can't find one for less than $400.
I want to get the controller.
I want that fucking Sea of Thieves controller, dude. That shit looks badass.
Yeah, it really does.
I don't even need like the Elite controller. Just give the Sea of Thieves controller. I'd be happy with that. Because that shit looks badass.
I don't know, man. Once you play as an Elite, it's hard to go back to any other Xbox controller.
Well, good thing I haven't been tainted yet.
Yeah. I wanted the custom Gears of War Elite controller, but I didn't have the money at the time to pre-order it. So,
and now, like, you're basically, oh man, buying a used car would be cheaper in some cases than buying that Gears of War Elite controller.
Yeah, my friend was gonna sell it to me for $275, but I was like, nah. I didn't trust the fact that it was still gonna be in top condition, and I didn't want to take the chance of that not happening and spending like more than what it was actually worth.
Yeah.
That's what I need to do is go in the pawn shops around here. There are plenty of tweakers that I'm sure have given up stuff that's amazing.
Yeah, I need to start going to pawn shops and looking for like PlayStation 2 games.
Oh, you should find those.
I think I'm gonna airbrush my consoles. I'm gonna actually do some custom paint jobs on my consoles. I've been sort of thinking about that lately, like do some custom design work to match my color scheme.
I wish I was better. Like my OCD wasn't as bad because I would do some of those sticker things that you put on the consoles.
Mm-hmm.
But my OCD, man, like if that thing was just like even a centimeter off, I'd be just constantly looking at it and never being able to play a game because I'd be like out of the corner of my eye going, "I see you." You know, like I know you're off.
Fucking sticker. You're just laughing
yeah,
at me now, aren't you?
Yep. The whole damn time instead of actually playing the damn game. What's funny is the game I just played, like I think he built it mainly for trophy hunters because you have to go to like certain areas, and whenever you go to this one secret area, or whatever, he's like, so the narrator's like, "What are you in here for? It's just an empty room," and you just have to sit there and wait for a trophy to pop. He's like, "You're in here for a trophy?" He's like, after all this work that I created this game for you, if I'd known you that, I would have just made a farming game, not put all this work into battle sequences and timing and all that. And he said, you trophy hunters, like you don't even understand the value of how much time it takes to make one of these games. And then you eventually end up getting like 3 more trophies in that area because he'll say, here, just if that's all you're here for. He'll give you a gold trophy and a silver trophy. Excuse me, a silver trophy. And then, I mean, like the whole time he's like, he'll continue like putting you down because you're. I mean, it's a pun, kind of like not really like he's not really being serious, but put you down for being a trophy hunter on there. It was actually quite funny.
Guys, I just shared something in the Facebook chat that Omega Jin sent me.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I saw Shane send it, like I was like, nah.
No, Omega Jim sent that. I didn't.
That fucking doesn't matter.
It's just a cardboard woman, dude. Sorry, Omega. Like when I share stuff with Rambo, he gets like all paranoid because I've shared some not so great things with him, like the Hagen dog, for example.
Okay, well that one is going on Twitter.
Yeah, okay. See, now he sees something that I shared, and it's like, oh, okay, that's not a dog, fucking a hog.
That was an okay game. I mean, I wasn't actually going to be putting a Hagen dog on Twitter, so I'm going to put like Nintendo Labo teaching young kids sex ed.
What the fuck?
It's in the Facebook chat, Brim. You should look at it.
Oh my god.
The dude has some amazing folding skills, I will say that.
Yeah, no shit.
I don't know if I want to click this thing, dude.
It's hilarious.
It's a cartoon for one, and
okay, good.
Like anyone like that can keep up with my sick sense of humor would be you. So why are you afraid to click it?
I don't know, man. You can shock me sometimes. That's hard to do, I know, but
No, I don't think so. You come to my house and post on my Twitter things like I got $5 and a tight asshole who wants to party. Yet I can shock you with a hog and a dog.
See, saying shit and seeing shit, sir, are two completely different things. Do you want me to give you a visual aid as to what I type on your timeline? Because I can, but I guarantee you it'll be like 10 times worse.
It's really bad when you hear back from people and they're like, you have neither, don't lie to me. Like, no tight ass or $5. It's like, well, you're right about, I guess, one of them. I don't know which one, though.
Oh, man. Yo, so will Labo be in on the next VR porn craze? Think about it. You're gonna watch You're gonna watch you jizz with a folded cardboard VR goggle and a folded cardboard USB vagina thing connected to it.
That would hurt.
Yo, tell me that wouldn't be awkward, dude. You're sitting there doing this thing, right? And someone walks in on you, fucking your Switch.
It's the HD Rumble that gets you there so quickly.
Yeah, especially now. I mean, especially with the Switch having that extra, like, top of the line HD Rumble.
Oh my god! Oh. Oh, we're not the only ones that have started this? Aw. I was kind of hoping we're the first ones to talk about this. I guess we're not.
What, the VR porn thing?
Yeah, he says this has to be a topic at least once in every podcast, I swear. So I'm thinking we're not the only ones. Damn it! I wanted to be the pioneer of the possibility of turning the fucking Labo into a sex toy. God damn it.
Well, I mean, good luck, because all Nintendo has is Hulu, barely. So, I mean, there's not even a web browser on that thing.
They got Crunchyroll, Shane.
Oh, so you can jack off the cartoons. Wow.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I don't know how people can do that. It's only a drawing. Hold on, some of the door.
Man, my hands are cold for some reason. Oh, and Detroit Become Human developers Quantic Dream did reiterate that they said that we because I guess somebody asked when's the game releasing, and they said we said spring of 2018 and we mean spring of 2018. So it looks like they have reconfirmed again that we are going to be seeing Detroit Become Human, or anywhere from, I guess, March to May. Which I can't wait for that either. That's actually going to be fun.
Hell yeah, dude. Now, so it's a Quantic Dream game. Is this going to be like Heavy Rain or no?
Yeah, but I mean, you're going to be running or playing as robots. Yeah. And trying to stand up to their oppressors, the people who created them, and the storyline looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So I can't actually wait to try it out, because that child abuse one, that one right there was really piqued my interest for sure. And it looks like it's just going to be one a really good, compelling storyline.
I've always been pretty fascinated with Quantic Dream's work. They've always done stand-up jobs on their games. Even their very first kind of create your own experience game that they had. they've always had an interesting look at the video game industry, and I think that's kind of why they've always been sort of set into their own category. Because they're not really competing with anybody, you know? They're not really, they're not like a Battlefield or a Call of Duty vying for the attention of its communities. Like, they are literally their own thing, and that's probably why they're so successful. Like, Heavy Rain was one of their best-selling games of all time. Like, they did so good with that game. And the amount of shit you could do to get all the different endings. I mean, I've had quite a few friends tell me how amazing that game was, you know? And there was what? Didn't it get like a Game of the Year accolade at one point or some shit? Like,
I can't remember. It's been that Heavy Rain was such a while ago.
Yeah.
So Brim has found a new game to play. Did he tell you about that?
No.
I have. Wait, what? What are you talking about?
You know, Blaxican Army 1.0 or whatever it is.
Well, that one that America's Army or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah,
Hood Rat
That one I
Central
knew
on
about.
PS4.
that one I knew. That one I knew he liked. That I've never heard of the game before until he played it. But
So I play America's Army a lot, you guys. In fact, I'm playing that right now on the PS4. And there's something that I've noticed that I thought was kind of funny. And I think it's funny because, especially with the height of our I guess, society today. Like, and the reason why I don't say anything really about it is because I know how racially insensitive it sounds. But when Shane says Hood Rat Central, he's not joking, okay? Like, have you guys ever do you guys know how a ghetto person talks? And when I mean ghetto, I'm talking about someone who thinks they're a gangster. They call you bitch ass nigga. You feel me, dog? Shit like that. Like America's Army on
How's that go again?
PS4. Shut up. America's Army on the PS4 is nothing but that. Like, I try to talk to these guys, and I get the same stupid racial shit thrown at me. Stupid white boy. Stupid Mexican.
Yeah. See,
stupid whitey.
that's because Brim isn't taking what it.
You fucking milk nigga. Like, that's what I hear all the time when playing America's
You
Army.
milk
on the
nigga.
PS4. You're a milk nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like, you hear that.
I've never heard somebody refer to a white person as a milk nigga.
A milk
Well,
nigga, yeah. Well,
see,
I didn't
Brim
hear about it
isn't-
until this game, so hey.
Brim isn't taking like what it's like to be in the hood. He's not putting this all in one big picture. See, in the hood, if they have the PS4, then they also probably pay for some kind of internet, whether they're tethering off a phone from Metro PCS or Cricket or something, or stealing someone's Wi-Fi, or they live by the McDonald's or whatever. They can't also afford Call of Duty.
So they play this game. And
Yes.
And it's the entire, I'm not kidding when I say this, it's the entire community. There's only been like one or two rednecks that I've heard come in and say, yo, man, what's up? What's going on, Brimstone? You know? Well, not a big deal. But I've been called milk nigga at least 6 times in one match. I got told that I was a stupid whitey. So one guy said some stupid ass shit about me being a no-lifer who lives in his mother's basement like usual. And then, of course, the classic line of, you feel me? Like, it's fucking retarded, dude.
I'm gonna have to play this game.
Bro, it's hilarious. It is. It's funny. Now, on the PC, it's the other way around. It's all like, you know, I mean, you got a few dudes in there that are, you know, I don't want to say they're complete hood, but they're borderline, you know, they're teetering, but they're still pretty cool people, you know. But on console, nah, man, like, you feel like you're about to get jumped, even though you're online. Like, if that makes any sense. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to play this, and then I'll record my gameplay and then post it on Twitter and go, "This is what the abuse I have to suffer when playing games." See if the movements actually give a shit about me.
I don't feel you. I feel you.
Well, Kristen, you know what it's like when you walk to your front door from your car with Walmart bags, especially a pharmacy bag. You know you got to be careful. I mean, they'll fuck you up over there for that shit.
Yo, I live in the hood too, man. I live in the hood.
Yeah, I live in the hood. I used to live in the hood, and whenever I wouldn't walk around with like my Vita or my phone out because Like them, when they saw an iPhone 7, they were like, "Oh, that motherfucker's got money."
Yeah.
Pretty
I'm
much,
like, I also have a $500 weapon on my side, so come on and try to take it.
See, they didn't bother me either because I'm 6'3" and 275 pounds. But I mean, I saw a bunch of white people get fucked with.
Oh yeah, they don't they don't fuck with me because whenever
Shane
when I see my
too, Shane was like, "Yo, that's not my problem, peace." Like,
bro,
when they see my phone,
there's no racial unity for white people. You know there isn't.
Yeah, you're
when
right.
when they see the expensive shit they can steal from me, they also see the gun on my hip, so they usually leave me alone. So.
But I mean, when it comes to black guys, like if one black guy's in a fight and another black guy sees that, then they'll bail that black guy out of that fight. They'll help him. When it comes to white guys, it's like, as long as it ain't me. I mean, I'll show you where the other guy is.
Oh, you're just looking for Bob. Oh yeah, come on, I'll take you to his house. He lives right down here.
I mean, but speaking of, Brim said something about being racially insensitive. You know how you can solve that problem?
What?
White insults are the only ones that are okay now. If you think about it. No one bitches for you saying cracker or honky, whatever that is, but I know it's somehow derogative against white people.
Yo, you're a milk nigga.
Yeah, I've never heard that one, but I could care less if I got called that. I mean...
No, well, I didn't care that I was being called this shit. It's just funny that, like, I mean, you and I would be beating up one into another if we said something, you know, about black people. We would be fucking crucified regardless of what we're on. I could be on Xbox One, and I could make the wisecracking joke to a group of black people in a clan together, and I could ask them, hey, did you buy your shit with an EBT card? Like, and I would get fucking ransacked, dude. They'd hunt me down over social media with a voice clip of me saying some racist shit, and I'd be told that I was a racist because I made a joke, but yet they can say whatever they want. You know, that's bullshit. It really is.
Chris, I actually get along more easily with black people than I do white people as well too.
Yeah, same. Most of my friends are black.
See, yeah, it's because I got black people problems. That's what it is. I understand them.
Shut the fuck up.
But I'm a racist compared to, like, according to a lot of people online.
Yeah, isn't that funny how that works out, dude? Like, in person, I have never had a single issue with...
I've never been told I was racist in person. Like,
neither have I, yeah. All my friends in California were black, and Mexican. All my friends in Nevada were all black and Mexican. I think I've only had, like, one white friend, really. Maybe two at the time. And yet, online, I'm an asshole.
And I know it's cliche. I know it's cliche to say, like, you're not racist, you have black friends or whatever. But literally, if you're racist, you don't have black friends.
Like, literally, that is not.
It goes completely against the whole idea of being racist.
The internet is where it matters, Omega. No, but you're right though. Like, it doesn't make any sense, does it? Like, it's kind of funny.
I'm for real one.
What's his name was fucking with you this week? That's the one that was weird. FNet. What the fuck? So FNet, this guy named FNet decided he was gonna say that Rambo was a hardcore racist, but he didn't have the balls to back anything up, like, at all. Like, we called him out on it. Cyrus called him out on it. Even Dark Phoenix decided to jump in and weigh in on you, telling him to prove it. I find that really interesting how, you know, that works out, right? Like, you call someone racist or you just use that word, you know, they're so flippant with it, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and I mean the sad part about it is that that's all it takes for, like, a lot of people just to believe it. They don't give a shit about the proof as long as somebody has said that you're racist or whatever. It ends up sticking a lot, like, with people, like, and a lot of the black YouTubers that hang out in, like, FNet circle have actually taken to the same degree that I'm racist, but none of them can actually prove to me where I'm racist.
Yeah.
And, like, I tell them, like, well, it's kind of hard to be racist and voluntarily adopting my mixed granddaughter. well, they're like, oh, that's your family. I'm like, but that doesn't even make a damn bit of sense if I'm racist.
No, half of her's not your family. It came from some
I'm
other
like,
dude.
I said, well, first of all, it's like if I'm racist, my daughter wouldn't have been ever having, any sort of like mixed kid. Like that, I just, and I sure as fuck wouldn't adopt it. Like whenever you're a person's racist, and they're like one of their kids rebel.
Yeah, they don't.
No, they're just like, fuck it, that ain't my kid. Like, keep that thing out of my house. And like, it doesn't even fucking make sense. Like I don't know. They're just mad because I didn't go all in on the white supremacists, or whenever people were like, all these certain people were like condemning what the white supremacists were doing. They were all at the same time. All these other times, they were like celebrating what Black Lives Matter and Antifa and all of them were doing. I'm like, you can't be against white supremacy and for Black Lives Matter and Antifa. Like toxicity is toxicity. Like it's showing more about yourself.
Racism.
Yeah,
racism is racism. It's not exclusively. They're not mutually exclusive. That's not how this works.
It was like, so whenever people were bringing that up, I was like, well, how are you complaining about the white supremacists whenever you're supporting Antifa and Black Lives Matter? And so they were like, well, since there was no reason for me to bring up Antifa or Black Lives Matter, so therefore I'm racist. And I'm like, no, I'm just saying, like, toxicity needs to be gone no matter where it comes from. You can't pick and choose and think that you can get rid of white supremacy, but this toxic group is okay. Like, to me, I was against it all. And somehow, I guess, if I'm against Black Lives Matter, that means I'm against black people, even though Black Lives Matter is a movement, not a race.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. I know.
I think people just like calling people racist because they have nothing else better to do.
The term racist has lost the weight it once carried.
Oh yeah, the internet's
and that's unfortunate because I mean the actual racists that are out there, the ones that I've actually gone like Twitter battling with, are just able to kind of go by scot-free because calling them a racist doesn't really do much anymore. Like, people are just like, okay, another white guy. I mean, it doesn't carry the same weight and shit that it used to.
No, see, like, I forget what comedian I heard it from, but like, racist is like simply just like a fucked up insult now. Like, it's no different than saying fuck you or you're stupid or whatever. So, and he also had another really good idea. Hold on. Oh yeah, we should add "change my diaper" to the chain of insults.
Oh yeah.
Change my diaper?
Change my diaper, motherfucker. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's a weird one.
Well, I mean, it's more effective than calling someone racist.
Well, yeah. I mean,
it catches you way more off guard. Like, if you were yelling at me and I told you, fuck you, change my diaper, you'd stop yelling to think for a minute. Like, what?
That off of? Was that Dave Chappelle or?
No, it was Tom. Fuck, what's his name? Tom Segura? Yep. Yeah. Him.
Well, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Because, I mean, when you're in especially as a white guy, if you're in any sort of Twitter disagreement or social media disagreement with a person of a different race, you could almost bet that the word racist is going to come out no matter what. But change my diaper, I don't think I would ever expect that to come out.
See, to me, it's just funny hearing it, but I mean, yeah.
I'd be like, what?
Bro,
like, this motherfucker just asked me to change his diaper? What?
Change my diaper, motherfucker. Yeah. That shit had me laugh when I first heard it. I was like, what the fuck, dude? That is funny. Like, it catches them off guard, and then they realize that you just told them to, like, literally clean your asshole for you.
I don't know. I mean, I like the whole sexist, racist, all those normally bad things that were like really frowned upon in society. Social media has taken that made it to where it's just basically another fuck you or you're a fucking asshole. Like, basically that's all it's became. And that's unfortunate because it really downplays the actual racism and the actual sexism in America or in the world.
Man. Oh, today is National Complaint Day.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Twitter wasn't just completely blowing up over that one.
Twitter just should have shut down for today. I'm like, yeah, we don't care what you guys have to say today. Just go home.
Right.
Oh, I told Brim about this, but did you hear what not Rambo?
I was like, what'd I do?
What Philadelphia is doing to fight the opioid addiction crisis, death, overdose thing? There's a safe zone. Well, they got the green light to do this. To make safe zones for people to go shoot up and go do their drugs, to where they could be like monitored by medical people. Yeah.
Okay, well,
that's their answer to that.
Sense.
Let's not, put them in jail for doing the shit or anything. Just go to this little building and you'll be supervised while you inject shit into your veins.
Well, maybe they're thinking if they take away some of the some of the high is basically knowing that you're doing something that could get you in trouble. And so if you take away some of that, then maybe you'll be left with just the actual addicts and not the ones that are out there for that cheap thrill from doing something that's considered a no-no.
Yeah.
Not just that, you're putting them in a spot where you can keep your eye on them instead of doing it in some back alley and then trying to rob somebody because I don't know, they run out. It's gonna be hard to try and rob somebody when you're sitting there in front of nurses and shit. And I'm sure they'll have a couple cops on standby or something like that.
Well, they've got our city is deciding to make it now to where doctors have to update their system to where they write e-scripts. And so you give them the name of your pharmacy and stuff like that, and they are going to take your Oxycontin or oxycodone and shit like that and send it electronically to the pharmacy. The only problem with that is that my pharmacy that I go to every month I have this. I have a pharmacy that I go to, and then every month I go there, and they're like, "Well, we're out of the medication." But the Southwest 89th has it, or Southeast 44th has it, or Northwest 23rd has it, and so now I have to, I guess, kind of pick on out of all the different pharmacies in the CVS chain around me, which one I guess I have frequented more, so that way I can tell my doctor that's the one I want you to send it to. Because if they send my prescription electronically, say to the one I actually have down as my main pharmacy, I might not see my prescription for a week or two. And that would really fucking suck for somebody that's been on opioids for 5 years to have to go 2 weeks without their medication. By the time that 2 weeks come, I'd probably have fucking already robbed that damn CVS and
Damn.
There's been an oddball string of robberies at CVS and Walgreens in the last week.
Yeah.
In this particular town of fucking Tornado Alley.
Dude.
He's only stealing this one guy's prescriptions, man. I can't understand it.
I mean, and when it comes to Walgreens, fucking rob them just because they're assholes. Take $1. I don't give a fuck. Just smack them around.
I gotta hate fucking Walgreens, man. The land where people that couldn't make it as doctors go to be pharmacists.
Bro, have you told them that, dude?
Those dumb shits couldn't even be a dentist or a vet. They're at the bottom of the fucking food chain.
They that place, they try to hold my shit hostage. My prescription, saying if I didn't tell them what it was for, why I was getting it, and if it was up to them to deem my reasons if it was necessary for me to have that medication or not.
You're like, quick, tell me the 37th president.
if they deemed it unnecessary, then they were going to keep my prescription, and I was going to have to go back to my doctor to tell them that I can't get my I need another prescription because they kept it. And I was like, yeah, like you should have gone into law enforcement instead of pharmaceuticals. Like that's like your job is to put the fucking pills in the bottle.
Check the label.
Yeah,
Make
like,
sure it matches.
Like there's
About the
a
extent of
patient.
it.
It's like there's patient-doctor confidentiality, and I don't have to divulge any fucking doctor-patient confidentiality information to you. The HIPAA laws have stopped me from being able to do that. But they
Dentists
do.
are
Like,
important to go get, but they're pretty low down there.
yeah. Chris, when I lived out in the country, I learned how to be like a plumber real fast because we lived on a well, and like there was constantly pipes needing to be replaced, and our well exploded one time during the middle of a freeze. So like the well was gone, like the building was gone, but it was just a big ball of ice out there. And so we had to actually like chip away at the ice, and in the middle of the freezing ass weather, put in a whole new set of pipes. It was fucking.
Well, Chris, I know you're married. I don't know how long you've been married, but if your wife is anything like mine, like I think year one, I learned how to pretty much fix everything in the house that involved plumbing. I hate it. I can't stand it. It's fucking nasty. But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, once it comes to going under the house, I'm like, we're calling somebody.
Yeah, see, and my apartment complex has those people too, Chris, but I don't want them in my fucking house every time my wife breaks something, which is pretty frequent.
Well, because they also are, like, I think, done by the apartment complex to come into your house and also keep an eye on what you've got in your house. Like, if you're breaking any rules or anything like that. I just don't trust them in my house. Like, if I'm in an apartment complex.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, you don't need to know, like, what kind of items are in my house, because I know you guys have a master key to every door in this bitch, so...
Oh, yeah, whenever I lived in an apartment complex, I was off work, and there was actually a person coming in from the apartment complex coming into my fucking apartment. They didn't know I was in there because it was during work hours, and they thought that, everybody was at work. But they opened the door, and I'm sitting there like going, I said, like, excuse me? They're like, oh, sorry, wrong house. And I'm like, yeah.
Dude, that happened to me in my first apartment. They said that they were... Oh, man, I can't remember what they said they were checking. But, they're supposed to knock on the door and all this stuff, right? So I hear them just fucking open the door, and I'm in the bed, and I didn't get up or anything because I was just too fucking exhausted. But yeah, dude, they went all around my house. I think they were just supposed to check the AC filter just to make sure that the filter was, clean and didn't need replacing or something like that. Maybe like one other thing. But yeah, they went into my bedroom and they saw me and they were like, oh shit. And then, I hear them scurry out of the house.
Yeah, I don't trust those people, man, at all.
That's never happened to me, but in my first apartment, I found a Hustler magazine with all the tits circled in my closet the day I moved in. They were circled with a Sharpie marker.
In that apartment, or?
No, my very first apartment.
Did you write that down on your check-in list?
No, I went and gave it to the office and watched 2 or 3 maintenance guys just turn beet red because there was only 2 or 3 of them. I mean, so it was one of them. I mean...
I guess you could have, like, y'all would have wrote down on my check-in thing, like, found Hustler magazine, tits circled, and stuck to the carpet.
Stuck to the carpet. That would have been good. No, yeah, I'm older and wiser now. If I would have found that in this apartment, I would have raised hell. I was, like, barely 18, I think. I know I wasn't even old enough for it to be in my name. It was in my wife's name. She's 3 years older than me, so.
Yeah, Jay Caesar, now that I own guns, like, it wouldn't be a wise decision for, like, an apartment complex just to come waltzing in my door with me home. Like, I can see, like, the news apartment worker shot dead after entering home checking for air filter.
Did you guys see that Facebook video where a cop went out to that property line for a wellness check and he jumps the fence?
Oh yeah.
Home,
yep.
And the the cop got shot at, man. He got hit. Tagged the fucking
good.
Cop too. I'm like, damn, like this guy is not fucking around, man. He was pissed.
Well, that's trespassing, right?
No, the guy was mentally ill, and that's the reason why they were doing a wellness check. But once they call a wellness check, they have actually right to go onto your property.
Oh, well, damn. I guess that's not so great then. But still, if a cop illegally came onto my property and I was a gun owner and had a house or whatever, I'd fire.
What's sad though is that they didn't even press charges on the guy because he was mentally incompetent or whatever. And I'm like, fuck, I would have pressed charges on his ass for shooting me.
He's smart enough to shoot a gun. He's not that, fuck. What state was it in?
That I forgot. It was like it was in the backwoods of one of these big
it has to be
states.
Texas or something, right?
I was going to say
it was
probably Texas.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was Texas. I think it was like one of the typical cities typical states that you only know about the major city of it, and then they have the country areas of it. But it was back in the country area because whenever he pulled up, it looked like some remote ass fucking plot of land, and the cop popped the fence, the little cattle guard fence, and he's walking around for a little while, and then he disappears, and all of a sudden you see the cop come running and flying out, and the guy shooting.
I tell you, there's no way that shit happened in California.
Bro, he was kicking the shit out of the car when he first pulled up, brings the kid inside, puts the kid inside the house, and then fucking shoots the car before he shoots the guy. I'm like,
yeah.
What the fuck?
That dude was definitely a loose fucking cannon.
This is no bueno, guys.
What?
Posting it in Facebook chat. Vape spinner.
Oh god. Oh dear God.
It's the beginning of the end.
All right.
Pete.
Let's go back to more feminisms.
All right. Alexa will now refuse to respond if you use sexist language.
Are you kidding?
Nope.
Oh wow.
Wow. So they actually built in. I mean, they really made that Alexa a full-on liberal. I didn't think AI was supposed to have political affiliations.
Yeah, apparently she consistently underperformed when it came to clapping back at sexism, and worse still, refused to define herself and artificial intelligence as a feminist.
Weird.
Right?
Well, I know that. I mean, she's definitely built to be liberal because, whenever you ask her, who's Muhammad, she'll give you this great person that lived, back then, and all this other stuff. But whenever you ask who Jesus Christ was, it's a mythical creature, a fictional character. Even though they've actually proved that the person named Jesus Christ actually did walk the earth at least as a human. They did have, of course, haven't proved that he was an all powerful being or whatever, but they have proved that he actually did live, and she still says it's a fictional character. And that basically in communism and everything else is she gives
wonderful.
Yeah, she gives the actual just base definitions of communism and shit like that. But then whenever you ask what fascism is, she really has a strong opinion towards what fascism is.
Apparently they made her more woke, so that now if you ask if she's a feminist, she eye-rollingly responds that she is, as is anyone who believes in bridging the inequality between men and women in society.
Wow.
And if you call her a derogatory term like slut, She will now go into disengagement mode and refuse to answer a question, replying, "I'm not going to respond to that."
What the fuck?
You can't even call your fucking AI names.
Right?
What the fuck?
I mean, what would happen if they did that with like GPSs? There'd be a lot of lost motherfuckers. Because like, how many times you cuss out your GPS? You call the GPS a bitch or whatever, and like, I'm not telling you how to get out of here. Like, what? I need to know. Nope. You better apologize.
Jesus Christ.
I think Brim can relate to this because his girl's not that great at giving directions either. But instead of yelling at my GPS, I flirt with mine to make my wife mad. Like, she'll go like, like next intersection, make a left turn. I'm like, whatever you say, baby. And she, like, my wife's like, hey, fuck you. You don't talk to me that way. Like,
yeah, I've named mine Jessica.
Be a GPS woman, and we can change that real fast.
I've named mine Jessica after Jessica Alba because I told my wife that's my out, and so now she's like she gets mad whenever I like compliment Jessica, like telling me directions.
But yeah, I can't go anywhere with her and leave her in charge of the GPS thing. I can't.
No, I can. I mean, hell, I can tell my wife like turn at the next turn, and like by the time we get to the next turn, she's like, "Turn where?"
Yep.
I'm like, for fuck's sake, the next turn, right here. Like I just told you, like 2 miles back, the next turn.
God, it sounds like our women are the same person, dude. I like when me and Val go on road trips together, like we are not friends. Like
no, yeah.
I fucking
me neither.
Dude, like I get so pissed because she'll tell me at the last second exactly where to turn when we had like 4 miles ahead of time to go ahead and do that. She's like, yeah. It doesn't say. I'm like, zoom in on it. What does this crossroads are at? I don't know.
Yep.
She just gives up. I'm like, you need to fucking help me. Like seriously, because we get really mad at each other. Like I'll tell her.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell her. I'm like, you know what? Your bitch ass is driving, and I'll be the GPS.
every road trip like leads really close to a divorce attorney.
Yep. Dude, I've called my woman some horrible things because of it, dude. I'm like, you fucking bitch, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like,
dude, I've straight told mine to get out the car while it's moving. So I mean,
nah, are you serious? You've done that,
yeah.
Sandra?
Once I was like 23, she didn't talk to me the rest of the way.
Bro, it's so aggravating though. Like you're sitting there like, yo, like I need to know ahead of time where I'm turning. And then like 4 streets down and they tell you 2 streets back. Oh, I think you should have turned back there. It's like, I'm going to fucking kill you. Like, I'm going to push you out this door right fucking now. And you know what's worse, dude, is when like the GPS is okay and everything's okay. And yet somehow like there's road construction that you weren't aware of. Oh my fucking God, dude. It is the worst. And you know what? It's not even her fault. And I'm still yelling at her. I'm like, God damn it, woman, why did you... I know it's not her fault. I'm just being an asshole.
You should have looked this up on Google, damn it.
Oh. Yeah, we are not friends when we travel together. Like, I actually, I kind of, like, worry when we go traveling together. Because I'm like, are we still going to be together after this?
If she leaves me, how am I going to get home?
Yeah, when my wife says like this time we'll fly, I'm always like in the back of my head going yes.
Bro, like I wish I had that option. Trust me on that. If we could fly, dude, that would save so many arguments.
Yep, I'll just sit back and like let the pilot take control or whatever. Let be like, all right, cool. We don't have to worry about directions or anything because they know where they're going.
I told my girl, I said, once they get Uber out here, I'm done driving.
I don't care if this shit is like hijacked by ISIS. At least we're not arguing. Whatever.
That's pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, Uber or Lyft, come on out. I hope you guys come out at super cheap prices because they're supposed to be undercutting the taxi services in those areas. So, like, they're supposed to be like out here, it's like 50 to 75 cents a mile. So
yeah, it's crazy.
So I guess Lyft and Uber are supposed to be coming out here for like maybe 20 to 30 cents a mile.
I'm really surprised that like
Uber's 25
around there,
cents a
like,
mile?
because you're not that far away from Vegas that they don't have Uber and Lyft out there. But I guess in Vegas, like you really don't need an Uber or Lyft because I mean everything that you're going to is like within walking distance from the place you just left.
In Vegas, you might not, but in Bullhead or Laughlin, you do. Everything is like spread out where we're at.
Yeah.
Apparently, people are using Uber instead of ambulances too.
Damn, that's pretty.
Well, that's sad.
Well, you know what? That makes sense.
I mean,
Like,
if
so
it's not a,
that makes sense.
yeah.
Actually.
I mean, if you're
call
not
it
having
ambulance
like
or
a
Uber?
heart attack or something, it makes a lot of sense because instead of paying a couple grand for an ambulance ride, you just pay, $5 for an Uber ride.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you're like
actually,
here,
and some of those Ubers are actually packed with medical shit. Like, have you seen some of those things, man? Some of those Uber drivers really get into it.
if you're here, like on your water bill, you get to pay like an extra $10 a year, whatever, or $20 a year. And anybody inside your household, and no matter where, like it doesn't even matter, like if you're at your house or if you're somewhere else, but if you use a ambulance, it's all completely covered.
For $10 a year?
For $20 a year, it's $20 a year for the whole household.
Damn!
Shit.
They need to have something like that out here.
Yeah, so
Right.
I mean, I can be at say if I can be at the mall and have to call an ambulance, and then since we pay the fee here. Then
Basically, as long as you're a resident and have that bill, yeah.
Yep. I've had to use the ambulance a few times. And my family gets with my other problems. They get a little bit ambulance happy. Like when I fell in the shower, they're like, "Call an ambulance." I'm like, I couldn't breathe because like my lungs. I was like, "No, like, fuck, just take me. I'm fine. I don't need no fucking ambulance." I just remember one time whenever I had a seizure, I woke up as they were carrying me to the fucking, like they had me on like one of these old makeshift stretchers, and they were carrying me to the ambulance. I was like, "What in the hell, man?" I couldn't understand like what the hell was going on.
You're like, nope. This is a whole lot of nope.
Yeah, when going to the hospital or ambulance is like, where every like, ouch, this hurts is going to end up being, it's like, you know what, I'm just not going to tell you what's wrong with me anymore. I've been there like for years now.
Yeah.
How you doing, shit? I'm doing fucking dandy. You don't even know.
Yeah, I've almost got to the point where I accidentally tell my doctors that I'm doing fine. Like, I've just had to answer that fucking question so many times that I'm just like, fine. I'm like, I need to actually tell my doctors like how I'm feeling. But when I tell my wife and my family, they're all like wanting to take care of me. Like I have some sort of like terminal illness.
Like your fucking brains are falling out or something. Yeah.
Yeah, freaking Metro was just saying it was 25 cents for Uber all the way out in Lafayette.
Oh, 25 cents a mile?
Yeah.
Well, shit, to go 7 miles. Well, yeah, it's less than 7 miles from my house to Casino Drive. To go from my house to Casino Drive, it's $20 in a cab.
That's ridiculous.
One way.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because cabs out here like $1.75 a mile?
Well,
something like that.
On some of them.
Dude, it's like $3 a mile over here.
Me and my wife took an Uber the night of her Christmas party at work because we were drinking, and we went to a club that was probably 5 miles from where we were staying, and then we went from that club to like probably another 5 miles to a different bar, and then we took it there down like basically a couple miles down the street back to the hotel, and that whole night we spent like a little less than $20 total for all the Uber rides put together.
That's pretty good.
And we took the Uber Elite because we could get like the leather seats and shit, like the really fancy cars.
Yeah, ballin'.
Did you see the Uber? You saw the Uber Blacks that they have, right? They call them Uber Blacks. They're like really fancy fucking. Some of them are like Lambos, fucking like.
Yeah, that's the Elite out here.
Oh, okay.
or where you get like the top of the line cars and like to be part of the Uber, considered to be Uber Elite, you have to have like a 2015 model, like net current, like right now, a 2015 model or higher. It has to have leather seats, all power everything. It's got to have a music streaming service in the car. It's got to have like DVD player in the car and shit like that.
Can you imagine that though? Like getting robbed because you have too nice of a car to be called an Uber? Like that'd be fun. You're like, yo, man, we're gonna rob this motherfucker. He's an Uber guy. Don't worry. There's only one of him and 30 of us. We all called him for the same spot. Ha ha. God damn.
Yeah, I mean, we were riding like Range Rovers and shit like that all through the night.
There's more than one of them in that area?
Yeah.
How much extra do you have to pay to get in something like that?
Like the regular ride was like, say $350, I guess, for the 5-mile trip, and then the Uber Elite was like around $5, $5.50.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, so it wasn't really that much of a difference. And it pre-tells you how much you're going to spend. Like, so there's no, like, you just tell them like where you're picking up and where you're going, and it just tells you the fee. Like, that's it.
So you just pay the fee ahead of time?
Well, no, you pay it whenever you get there, because like you'll have it on your app. And if you did like what we did, we bought like a Uber gift card and just put it on the app. Mm-hmm. And then whenever they get to the location where they're dropping you off, they cancel the ride. They close the ride out, and it just automatically charges your app.
Oh, okay. But it's a flat rate, right?
Well, I mean, it's a flat rate. Like, well, I mean, it's not really a flat rate, but like what it is that they know where they're picking you up from and where you're going. So they charge you like however much they charge per mile, but you know exactly what the rate, what that charge is going to be like. So by the time you get there, there's like there's a cab. You're kind of like having to guess like how much money you're going to have to, how much it's going to cost you.
Yeah, because the meter's always running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is like since it already knows exactly your pickup and drop off location, it'll say if I'm going like whenever it did that, it says your trip is going to cost $550. But if I was going to go somewhere else, it would have said like your trip's going to cost $850. And then you just book it, and then you already know exactly $850 is coming off your gift card or whatever it is that you pay with, credit card, gift card, whatever. But I like that better because you weren't like at the place going, well shit, like or watching the meter going, well shit, I only have like $16 and we're already at $15.75. You know, like you knew exactly how much you were going to be charged as soon as you made the Uber call or whatever. And you get the pricing of all three of them: the Uber Elite, the Uber something else, and then the Uber regular. So you could pick and choose which one you wanted.
Yeah, they'd fucking make a killing out here. And there's a lot of people that need jobs too that have cars and licenses and whatnot. So it would really work if Uber or Lyft came out here.
Yeah.
Although they'd need to offer you some kind of medical insurance or something because the drivers out here.
Yo, they're
taking an Uber can be your last decision ever in life out here.
They get all day out here. No joke. There's a wreck. There's 2 to 3 wrecks a day in between Bullhead and Laughlin, and it's bad. Like it's really bad. It's never been a slight ding or something. You already see a body on the street, or you'll see. It's fucking terrible, dude. Like I hate our area when it comes to drivers. They are idiots out here. They're some of the dumbest fucking people on the planet out here.
I think California's got the worst drivers.
Well,
yeah, those motherfuckers will parallel park at 70 miles an hour.
All right, Chris. Yeah, but this is the tri-state area, though, Pete. So we got California drivers, Arizona drivers, and Nevada drivers all rolled into one area.
California drivers are just rude as fuck. Nobody ever lets you in or anything like that.
Bro, imagine a mix of Arizona and California and Vegas together. That's what you get out here. It is nightmares. Not only do they not let you in, but they'll fucking hit you to keep you out. Like, that's how they're idiots out here, dude. They're some of the most aggressive retards. Like, you ever heard of weaponized autism?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to our area, okay?
Think of the last time you played Mario Kart, and I'm going to tell you, one day of driving out here is less...
It's less stressful than it would be on Mario Kart.
Yeah.
That's accurate. Shit, I wish I had some shells to drive out here. I'd probably... You know how many lives we could save Shane if we had shells?
Fuck yeah, some banana peels even. Something.
I just think they need to make monster trucks illegal. I mean, legal.
Oh, out here it is. You can drive a monster truck out here.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, where you can just drive over the people in front of you.
Oh.
Bro, you can ride a three-wheeler out here as long as you got a license plate and a headlight on it.
Well, yeah, you can't hear too like that. I've seen so many like three-wheelers on the road. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, we get out here too.
Big old dirt tires. It's like, yeah, you're on fucking Highway 99 or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't need those.
The only thing I hate seeing across the road is one of them big ass fucking tractors.
You see John Deere with license plates?
Yep, and they take up like 5 times the size of a car. So I mean, you can't just simply go around them, and you have to sit there like, and they go 2 miles an hour. It feels like.
I think they actually do between like 2 and 5.
Going around one that has one of those big combine things on the back is kind of nerve wracking because you have to go way over into the sometimes the shoulder of the opposite lane to get around that big ass blade that's sticking out of the side of it.
Out here, they got golf carts, bro. You put a license plate on that bitch.
Oh.
I'm not joking. You can seriously roll around Bullhead and Laughlin in a golf cart. As long as
they
you
get
have
those
a fucking plate on it, you're good. 4-wheelers.
They get those up the road near. Fuck. What is it? Shit. There's a boonies town up the freeway, but there's like a big old gated retirement community right near there, and they all use golf carts. And I think
it French Camp?
No, it's like the community is like Gold Coast something or other or something like that.
I've noticed whoever drives golf carts think they own the fucking road.
Wait, where do you live? Where do you live, Cobra? Do you live in the Middle East somewhere? This is because he said he's a sponsored skater, and I'm wondering.
Yeah.
And he said where he lives, women can't drive. So are you in the Middle East somewhere?
No, he just thinks women are horrible drivers.
No, he says he goes into another country and women can't drive.
County.
County.
County. Oh, I read that wrong.
County.
I thought he said country. I was like, what the fuck?
Georgia. That's like a whole nother country. But, yeah.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
Georgia, Florida, California are all like you've left the United States and gone into another country.
California, you just left the United States and now you've ended up in Syria.
Well, me and my wife are trying to decide if we do take a vacation this year, if we're gonna fly to New York and walk around and like see everything that we've never seen before in New York, or if we're gonna go to Las Vegas.
Well, when would you take your vacation? Because if it's in months, it could be cold. I would go to Vegas, especially because you have problems.
I'd probably be like in maybe March or April time frame. But
Yeah,
see, like we've been to
probably go
Vegas before, and like the only thing that really is to do in Vegas is just simply either watch some shows like the old people go watch or gamble.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, I mean,
Well, there's the Rock and Roll History Museum. And
or go to like the all new, clubs or whatever.
Yeah, but there's not a whole lot of like sights to see.
I mean, we've already seen the Hoover Dam 1,700 times.
Yeah.
So I mean, like the vacation would cost us, of course, you know, like as far as plane tickets and hotel would cost us more to go to New York. But if you factor in like what you spend when you get there, it's definitely going to cost more to go to Vegas because of all the gambling.
Well, let me put it this way: if you go to Vegas, me and Shane can meet up with you. We can all have like lunch or dinner or something. And if you choose you want to go to New York, I mean, you're gonna have a lot of good places to eat at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's expensive as fuck too.
New York is like food capital of the world, really. So street food is a huge thing out there.
Yeah, and if you go to New York, well, yeah, you smoke. Bring your own cigarettes because they're like $13 a pack there.
Yeah, I'd be stocking up on some cartons before I left here. Yeah, I've got to figure out what we want to do because I'd love to go to New York for one. I mean, just a visit so I can see the Statue of Liberty and where the World Trade Centers were and shit like that, and Central Park for the first time. But I mean, Vegas is always a good time, like no matter what. I mean, like we got drunk off of a penny out like in Vegas.
Guys, I'll be right back. I have to go pick up my wife.
Shit.
Is that time already?
I sound like some dog was like about to attack him.
That's his dog, Mango.
He's like, I gotta go.
Right? Yeah. She's like, don't leave me, human. Yeah, there's a gun museum in Vegas. Yeah, there's a few of them actually. Vegas.
Yeah,
Vegas is just good for like if you want some cheap fun and you don't flex spending an arm and leg. Like that's what it's good for. And it's not expensive. You can do pretty much anything out there you want to do. You want to be in a fucking orgy? Go for it. You want to fucking snort cocaine out of a hooker's asshole? Go for it. Like
a bunch of
every time that I was in
gun ranges outside the city that have like everything you could possibly want to fire too, right?
Yeah, everything. 50 caliber.
Like 50 cals, full auto AKs and shit like that.
You got LMGs with full chains, dude. Like,
yep.
Like you can do whatever the fuck you want out here.
I think if I ever did go to Vegas, like with that, because every time I've gone, we've had kids with us. And one time we were just there for basically one night, and we just walked around and gambled a penny, and then drank the rest of the night for basically free and got drunk. But I think if I ever went just like me and my wife, we'd have to go to the Cat House. Okay. That's on the outskirts of Vegas, so that way, because that the HBO show.
Out in Pahrump. Yep.
Yeah, I'd want to see it just to. I mean, because you don't have to actually like be like patron the women there, but you can go there and drink, and I think it'd be like me and my wife would actually think that would be pretty cool to sit there and just kind of hang out with them and talk or whatever.
People watch.
Yeah.
Well, like
because my wife.
There's a bunch of those kind of places out in Pahrump. You know that, right? There's the Bunny Ranch is like the biggest one out there. It's probably the most popular.
The only one I know of is the Bunny Ranch.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. The Bunny Ranch. Yeah,
that's the only one I know. That's the only one I know of.
Yeah, there's a bunch of smaller ones out there that are called cat houses that are owned by like an old couple, and it's kind of creepy. And then there's really cool ones at the Bunny Ranch that it's pretty much a Marriott of different people. So there's like different things for anybody. Like if you have a particular taste in woman, like more than likely they'll have it for you. Like it's pretty crazy, dude. They're pretty laxed on that shit too. Like it's sort of scary.
Later, Cobra.
Yeah, I need to go. I need to check it out and see what it's like.
Later, Cobra. You have a good night, bro. Out there, like at Pahrump, is also like that's like exotic animal haven. So if you'd ever want to own a tiger or a lion or venomous animals or anything for that matter that are dangerous and it's illegal to own anywhere else in the United States, Pahrump is like a place for that. So you'll like if you ever drive through Pahrump and you're out there, like you'll see a lot of animal sanctuaries that are owned by people that there's fucking lions and tigers in their yard. Whatevs.
Now that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would love to have like a pet Black Panther.
And they're like the most unstable of the cat family.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, you guarantee like you walk like people walking with their dogs, and I'm walking with a Black Panther, and I guarantee you people leave me the fuck alone. Like, yeah, like they stay away from that motherfucker. I could imagine like what the feeling would it be like whenever you're seeing a guy walking a Black Panther and or any kind of big cat and they go sick him. Like, oh shit, man.
Oh, in Pahrump? No, not in Pahrump. That's Africa, dude. Africa, it's like that. Africa, they have animal sanctuaries. You can't really call them sanctuaries. They're like kill houses where they'll tranquilize like a lion or a tiger, then they allow some fucking fat piece of shit in there with a rifle, shoot the cat in the head, and the guy goes up and look what I hunted, guys, and they have their picture taken with it, and they sell the skins off and shit and the bones and stuff to the black market.
They're actually putting poachers out of business, though.
Well, when you, I can't. Well, either way, they're still driving certain populations of animals to the like fucking near extinct levels, dude.
No, they're keeping them up. All the ones they've started doing, they're higher than they've ever been because the poachers can't get to them, and they make sure that they don't overhunt.
Either way,
that'd be the end of it.
Either way, it's a shitty thing, dude. Like,
yeah.
You don't. I mean, if you're gonna hunt something, you should really hunt something. You shouldn't just okay, we're gonna knock this animal out and let this guy shoot it in the head. Like that's pussyfied. If you're gonna hunt, hunt.
Yeah, I've never really developed much of an opinion on trophy hunting.
Well, there's a difference between trophy hunting and fucking.
Well, yeah, I mean,
that kill house do it for you, you know.
But yeah, I mean, if I was gonna trophy hunt, I sure as hell wouldn't want somebody just like me to be able to walk in. Yeah, yeah, basically walk in and go, okay, thanks, man. See you later.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd want to actually go out there and hunt the damn cat or giraffe or whatever the hell I was shooting. I just don't know how with trophy hunting though that it just seems like with the cat and like the meat the animals that would kill you if you happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I can almost see those, but I just don't know if I could actually pull the trigger on a fucking giraffe.
They said didn't a Trump boy kill an elephant? Did he actually hunt the elephant or did they?
Yeah, he hunted it.
As long as he hunted it and it was him hunting it and he wasn't getting an aim assist, then fine. Like I said, if you're hunting, you're a hunter, you're hunting, fine. But if he decided that he was gonna go to one of those kill houses and string the animal up and easily kill it like that, then no, that's fucked.
No, he's actually a trophy hunter.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind trophy hunters as much because a lot of them that are licensed, like they're told what they can and can't hunt. Like they're actually regulated.
That and like what Pete said is that they've actually by trophy hunting by allowing trophy hunting and regulating it, they've actually increased the populations of a lot of these animals because they've controlled the overpopulation and everything else and the poaching. People just think it's taboo because of you're killing an animal and not eating it, but I mean, I think from what I understand, those places that do allow the trophy hunting, like you get to kill the animal, take the skin or whatever and stuff it for your thing, but then they take the meat and feed the starving people of their country.
Yeah,
that's my understanding of the whole thing.
Makes the most sense.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess it's a win-win for everybody. Like people get fed, and then the trophy hunter gets his little prize, and populations of the animals continue to stay strong.
Yeah, I defer to Rambo. If anyone knows trophies, it's him.
Oh, speaking of trophies, I looked up today after my last platinum, and I was telling Brim, but I'm ranked out of the world. I'm ranked 21,500, and so if you take just the PS4 numbers, like being at 70 million, I rank in the top 0.3% or 0.03% of the top trophy hunters.
It makes his wiener hard when he says it.
Oh, I love it, man.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Is there anything you guys want to talk about? Anything new releases are coming up you're looking forward to? Anything at all? I know they added some new DLC to Skullgirls. They're on, I believe, Encore 3 or some shit like that. So I'm looking forward to that.
I could have swore I read something about it coming to like Vita or something too.
What, Skullgirls?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool. I hope to see. I hope to see them at Evo again. Like I love watching the Evo tournaments with them in it.
It's too bad they weren't there last year.
Yeah.
The Skullgirls a fighting game?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a anime E1.
It's like
because I know that
it's like an old animated. You know how Cuphead is, right, with the art style. Well, that's how. That's how that is with the fighting game.
It's like I know that it's like one of a very tough platinum to get. Like I've looked at, like I've thought about buying it several times on PS4, but then I always check the platinum score, and it's like I think like an 8 or 9 out of 10. And I'm like, yeah, it's probably not. I never knew what type of game it was. I was just trying to, because it's usually if they end up being like really cheap games, I'll always just check the trophy thing, because either they're really easy trophies or they're godforsaken hard.
But Jay Caesar, is that real? Is that fucking
What?
real?
It is real.
Not
yeah.
finding a sexual partner is now a disability.
According to the World Health Organization, yeah.
Well, shit, man. Like, most of these women nowadays are all about that fucking, well, if you hug me, it's sexual harassment. You talk to me funny, it's sexual harassment.
I'm telling you, the price of sex dolls is going to go through the roof, because a lot of men are going to start turning to that than trying to date. It's safer.
Hey, that's okay though, right? Because sex dolls are the Bitcoin of the dating market. Because all these thirsty dudes would rather just pay a couple grand for one of the dolls, right? And they will stop doing whatever these silly stuck-up bitches want. And so they won't be able to get everything that they like getting just for flashing their tits. And it'll all work out.
I think that sex doll thing is going to, like, I think it's going to catch on. I think it's going to catch on a lot faster than these women thought it would be, because these women are already on Twitter and Facebook bitching about it. Like, and most
you
of them are
notice how many
feminists.
of them are starting to say something like, well, can a sex doll clean and all this other stuff? It's like, wait a minute, I thought that wasn't a woman's job. Now all of a sudden it is.
Like, it's funny how they're backtracking on that shit. Oh, wait, like, you guys wanted equality, right? Like, I mean, and you said you didn't want men telling you looked beautiful or anything, so, like, what do you want us to fucking do? Make up your goddamn mind. You want us to
the sex dolls that
fuck you and then leave? I mean, that's pretty much what you guys wanted, and then you guys were bitching about dudes doing that. So dudes are saying, fuck it, yo, give me a sex doll. I don't want to deal with a fucking yipper. So guess what?
And the new ones they have, like, look like fucking people.
And they talk.
Yeah.
They talk. They have conversations with you. They've got one that they're working on right now in Japan that they're trying to integrate AI into, like a real AI, not this bee-bop, boo-bop. No, we're talking full-on conversations like you and me are having right now.
Yeah, there's one they actually have. Like, this company has actually made it. Like, the only thing he said that the like version 2.0 is going to have like a full. They're almost going to be full sentient, like to where they carry out a full thing. But like, this lady was able to, like, hey, what's your name? And she was like, my name is Robin or whatever, you know. And like, she'd have a conversation with you. And I was like, what the hell? He said the goal isn't really for these dolls, like for the people just to have sex. It's actually for companionship. And I'm like, weird. But now that I'm seeing more and more of these women's marches, I'm thinking,
well, you saw the Japan, the waifu girlfriend thing that they have in Japan, right? It's like this little palm thing that you put on your dresser and it pops up into a 3D image, and she's like, hello, master, or some shit like that. Like, they're looking at actually, like, making that, like, a thing, a real thing. If you ever watch Chobits or Elfenlied, they operate off of, like, or better yet, Steel Angel Kurumi. Like, they're AI-driven robots. They're droids. And they can have sex. They have emotions. Dude, Japan is creating their ultimate fantasy right now. And I think that's fascinating. Like, I think that is going to be revolutionary, actually.
Well, they continue, like I said, they continue with these women's marches. It's going to be there's going to be a really hot ticket item. Because I can fully see some men just, like, resorting to sex dolls. than trying to go out and try to date in this world that we live in.
I agree. And if you get something like a Steel Angel Karumi coming into real life, who the fuck is going to want to go out for a drink? Who's going to want to go and buy into a house with somebody that they fight with all the time? Who's going to want to do any of that if they don't have to? You could literally fuck as much as you want, say and do whatever you want, and there is nothing of any consequence to this AI.
No, in the AI, I mean, just if the talking of the AI gets annoying to you, you can simply just remove the batteries for a second or unplug it.
Or mute,
you know, I mean, like,
just,
yeah,
like mute, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you can control even the sometimes the annoying parts of relationships to like 100%. So I mean, there's definitely now a competition for women.
Well, that's to say that you're only in a relationship to have sex.
Well, that's what we were just saying. Like he was just covering the whole like how these robots can actually have a full
have conversations.
They can have a conversation with you. They could talk to you. They could, you know, we're talking full on conversations like what you and me are having, Shane.
There's an emotional aspect to it, though. Like to me, a robot wouldn't work for me.
Right.
Well, see, if I was to get divorced now, a robot would be perfectly fine. Like I already saw my wife. Like if me and you were,
man, like after this, that's it. I told my girl like, there's no other woman for me. Like
I was like,
once this is gone, I'm not doing it again.
The robot would handle the sexual portion of it, and then after that, it's like I don't give a shit. The robot fucking talks. Like fuck, I'll turn the fucking talking part off because I don't need conversation. Yeah, I'd be perfectly fine, and I sure as fuck ain't going out and trying to date for companionship. Hell no, not in today's climate. No, I'd be arrested quicker than shit and been locked up for charges of rape and molestation and everything else. And the only thing I did is said hi to people at the bar.
Mansplaining.
Yeah, I mansplained. You know how to make this drink.
What I would love to see them do is make this a step further and have them be self-aware.
That's where you're getting into like full on, almost like recreating a human.
Well, they've already discovered that like if you put two AI into the same virtual space, like over time they'll actually evolve themselves into like warfare. Isn't that crazy to think about? Like every single time they've done that experiment, that's what it's ended up in. They ended up in warfare. Think about that. Like that's just
there you go, Pete.
I'm telling you, like. There was actually one where people were teaching a robot how to shoot guns, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, we've all watched Terminator and shit like that. That just really makes a lot of fucking sense.
Did you see the thing about the AI, quote unquote AI robot that was in like Iran or whatever? That was like jokingly saying, "Oh, it's okay. I'm totally not going to try and take over the world or anything." Like, you stupid motherfuckers.
Yeah, and then the one that said, like, would you kill a human? She's like, just be nice to me. And I was like, huh? Like, so that means if I'm not nice to you, you will kill me? And she would never answer the question if she would kill you or not.
Well,
it was always like,
that's because
kind of like
the way they, like, so the way I understand, the way AI looks at things isn't so much as the same way on an expanded spectrum like we do. It's completely binary. It's a one-track thing. It's literally it. Like that's it. Like it's a yes or no, correct or incorrect. It's not. There's no in between. So there's no compass whatsoever.
Not with that one in Saudi Arabia. That citizen of Saudi Arabia. That one has a full-on like moral compass built into it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it's a full-fledged like pretty much human, and it's like it has been programmed on to determine like right and wrong and shit like that, and it's so basically it's programmed on the right and wrongs of the person that created it, and then it actually learns over the course of like being turned on and walking around and stuff of right and wrong within the actual social aspect and community. So. Yeah, there's they're actually building full on like thinking robots, like with moral compasses and everything.
So
I swear to God,
Saudi Arabia's doing it. So I'm guessing
Saudi Arabia has they just made it.
They have
they have a robot that they made a citizen.
I swear to God, man, I'm gonna have
She got her-
Terminators on my front lawn.
Yeah,
'cause
she
these
got her citizenship, and she was the one talking about like when they asked if like she would kill humans. She said basically, as long as you're nice, then you have nothing to worry about. And she would. So I mean, like you're like thinking, okay, well, what is nice to you? You know, like, and what is like mean? What is like death worthy? But she would never answer that question. But she was definitely saying like suspect things to make you think that if you cross the line, she would definitely cross that line with you.
I'm gonna make my wife change her name to Sarah Connor. So.
Well, I think.
Wouldn't that mean the robots would come after her though?
But here's the thing: if
I don't know.
Like, you heard about the? Has anybody here heard about this? What they call sleeve? It's called sleeve. Your body gets wrapped up into this plastic wrap thing, saran wrap thing. They got a tube that goes down your throat. It is literally the Matrix shit, and they can transfer your consciousness into the cloud. And your body is being fed nutrients while this is going on. Like, we're having all kinds of stuff going on this year. I'm actually pretty excited for it. I know a lot of people are frightened, but this kind of stuff really fascinates me. I love this stuff.
Well, that stuff is when they start people. I mean, I know that a lot of people don't believe in the whole God thing, but that's whenever like people are actually starting to play God themselves. Like just the idea of what God is, they're starting to do that themselves, and I don't think that that's a good thing at all. Like, let's have advances like in medicine and shit like that, but we don't need advances in shit that can basically make us the bottom of the food chain.
I'm all for, but yeah, I mean, I guess it's just like, I think what it is. It's in my childhood, they fanaticized the idea of the Matrix being a real thing and Terminator being a real thing. So whenever I see something from my childhood that looks like it could be a possibility, I think that's why I rooted on, because I love science so much, and I love the idea that, you know, our bodies are basic temporary things, and your life could be forever if you were to just upload your shit and be like, hey, I'm good.
So you would be excited to have like the Terminator happen?
Yes, actually, just to make sure that you were clear here, to wipe out a good majority of humankind is what I think is kind of needed sometimes.
Yeah, but like, what happens if you end up being that some of humankind that it ends up wiping out like that?
That is something I'm willing to live with, sir.
Nah, I don't want to be living on the run, and like, because killing robots is a lot harder than killing people. I can see like if the more and more these robots become a thing, I can see like ammunition manufacturers like actually making bullets that will kill robots. Like, basically, maybe not kill robots, but what is that? Making an EMP bullets, you know? Because
they already have those for vaginas, dude.
Huh?
They have EMP grenades for vaginas. It disables all. No, it seriously, it's this little T-shaped thing that goes in there, and it disables all enemy vehicles, which is sperm. No more pregnancy. There's a proper name for it. I just call it EMP grenade. My wife has one.
And he's already busted it, so, you know. I mean,
I think that's one of the best arguments for why there is no signs of extraterrestrial life, because if a civilization gets sufficiently advanced, then eventually they will do something like transfer their consciousness into a worldwide like network.
And I am totally.
And then you don't have to. I mean, you don't really have to have any space travel or, you know, anything like that, really.
So how much fun would it be to live inside of a fucking computer, like to where you couldn't even go out and everything else?
You could do anything you wanted.
You could do anything.
No, you couldn't. You could not have fucking sex.
Yeah.
Sure, you could. Why not?
Well,
how the fuck are you gonna have sex?
Every physical interaction that you have sends up a neural impulse into your mind. Your sex drive.
But you're not. But you're not getting the feeling. You're just getting the actual euphoria from having sex. But
well, no, not the actual. Because
physical contact.
All of the physical stuff is just electrical impulses.
It's all electrical impulses, and guess what we know about electrical impulses, Rambo? That could be manipulated and even cloned.
Yep.
So you could literally fuck in your dream and have the sex that you've always wanted, and guess what? You're not going to actually suffer any of the consequence behind it. I think that's a great thing.
Or play whatever video game you want, except you're actually in the video game.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Chilling with all the
One
ones
step
and
above
zeros every
VR.
day.
Hey, like I said before, man, bring it. I am down for this shit. I am 100% like, as soon as I see beta fucking things signing up for it, I'm like, yep, sign me up, Scotty. I am ready for this.
I think I'll wait for after the beta.
Well, no.
Yeah, I'm
I'll be
definitely not
happy to
fucking
just
testing this shit.
I'll be the first one to test this. I don't give a fuck if I die. I'm like, yo, I did this for everybody. We got this, guys.
Like, I definitely that's one beta that you wouldn't want to just be like, sign me up. It's one thing if your game crashes, but it's a big whole other fucking thing if that thing crashes.
I'm down, man. Like
your luck, there would be a bug in it, like, cause like that'd be part of the beta, and you'd end up becoming like the whole time that you'd be living as a transgender. And I would fucking sit there and point at. I would go to that computer that you're in and just fucking laugh, like, "Ha, motherfucker!" Or should, now do I call you Brema?
Yeah, right. But you know what? If I'm in the digital realm, sir, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be like, yo, so what if I got both, nigga? What? You just mad because you can't double click your mouse and stroke your own meat at the same time.
Yeah, that would be my luck. No.
Nuh-uh.
No, I'll just once they start doing that, like me and my family will go to the fucking woods and we'll camp out there with our guns and eat our rations.
See, and with me, I don't want to experience anything like a hunger or thirst or any of that. Like, I wouldn't want to experience it. Like, if I could get away with living my life without ever having to experience the basic needs of a body and just have my body being provided for while I live my life in the cloud, I mean, that's less. Think of it this way: it's less physical strain on your body. Your body would actually last a lot longer than if, say, somebody who has been walking around and done a lot of shit in their life. You'd age a hell of a lot better when it comes to physical prowess. I mean, there's just so many good benefits behind it, I think. So, and who knows if you don't want to live in that world anymore, you could probably come out and be like, yo, like, I'm getting tired of this shit. I want to be in the real world. I mean, that'd be your choice, you know. So,
but I mean, how would they be able to? Okay, first of all, like,
if they could put you up there, they could bring you back down. I don't see why they couldn't do it both ways.
Like, what do you mean? Like the body that you're in will only last for so long.
Right.
So, like, if you're in there, so I mean, like, they can put you in there, and then they'd have to keep your body like on ice, but that would still only last for so long. But then to put you back in, like what? Like, your body will like decays, so you might not be able to have a body to be put back into.
I think mostly at first it'll be people use it at the end of their life.
I can see a dystopian future with us doing that shit.
I know I'm not for all that shit. That's just too much of the Matrix shit there.
Cyrus is imagining you in a sundress.
Me?
No,
Brem.
I was like, why me?
Brema and a sundress.
Oh, Brema.
Do I make you moist, sir? Do you want to touch my thighs? I'm wearing a garter belt. Do I make you moist, little guy? Hey, Cyrus, you want to go move some furniture? Oh, God. Yeah, I'm all for this shit. Yeah, bring on technology, man. Give me the crazy shit. Moist, like, thick yellow cake.
They're already giving people, like, tastes of it with VR, fucking VR chat. I mean, you're scratching the surface with that kind of stuff, in my opinion.
No, there's a big difference between VR and that.
There is, but you're learning how to be social, like, in a whole new environment.
I mean, it's really only one step removed
from
not
VR.
Not from actually like uploading your consciousness, but if they can figure out how to get the physical aspect with VR to where it can replicate physical sensations, then that's pretty much everything they need for the start of it.
Now, if they could upload your consciousness and not worry about your body anymore, and they say fuck your body, then I'm even down for this even further. You know what I mean? Because that means that means just like life ever ending. That to me would be fucking awesome.
Moist like a thick yellow cake.
You want to touch me? Mm.
Man.
You want to touch my tra-la-la? And just think about all the other shit that you wouldn't have to worry about. You wouldn't have to worry about addiction. You wouldn't have to worry about cancer. Fucking, yeah, Caesar, Soma. But except you're not copying your brain into something. You're actually...
You have to worry about Windows 10 viruses.
Yeah, Jay Caesar, though. They fucked that guy up. That was a clone of a mind. That wasn't his actual subconscious being uploaded. A copy of his subconscious was being uploaded, which was fucked.
I mean, that's the thing, though. You say, like, Windows 10 viruses and shit, and sure, fair enough, but we deal with all that shit in the real world anyway.
Yeah, but the Windows 10 viruses can't kill you.
Yeah, but cancer can.
Well, right, but I mean, but I'm saying you're trading one, you're not really getting away from anything, you're just trading one for a different type.
You're getting away
from... how about this? I'll be uploaded into an iOS. Oh!
Well, they become obsolete very quickly.
Yeah, I know, right?
They'll slow you down after a couple of years.
You're like, man, I just got uploaded last year. Why do I feel like I'm 70?
If your battery ever needs changing, man, you're fucked. You have to go to them and have it desoldered and all sorts of nonsense.
Like, ow, shit, that hurts, that burns.
That's probably the equivalent to a tattoo living like that, I guess.
You know, JC says, lots of love. You know, Windows 10 virus, damn it, that bitch told me she was clean.
That's why the USB condom is a real thing.
So, like, how about this? Like, a glitch virus would be like an STD. So you're, like, glitching out every time you want to do something.
Like, hello.
You're like, how did you get this? I don't know, some bitch back in, like, binary gave it to me. Ooh, that's rough. Like...
But, you know, like living in a PC, chilling with all the ones and zeros. I guess the hood would be the crooked ones and the glitched out zeros, right?
So we're going to be living the life of Reboot?
Yeah, like, you know, in the south bridge of the motherboard. You know, because the north bridge is way too, like, snooty for a hood.
Yo, I'm on the south side of the mainframe. What, nigga? South side? Try going far south side. Like,
where the kernels crash and we always run out of cash. You know what I mean?
Like, you bought that budget. You bought that budget upload. Shit, I went all in.
Oh my god, you guys are ridiculous. You're like, yo, what kind of write speed are you operating at right now?
I paid for 5,400 RPM, man. I was good. So I could afford it at the time. I went straight to SSD with mine, man.
I got that SSD HD fucking hybrid, son. You don't even know.
Well, you best not learn and teach too much, because that's reading and writing memory. You'll die sooner.
You guys are killing me. Oh my god.
I don't know, man. Like, that would just be...
What happened?
Because then you're stuck, but then you're just stuck in one fucking spot. Like, you're stuck into it like one computer.
Not if they design an interface to it that allows you to create your own area, then that'd be cool.
Pretty assuming that they're gonna have it be able to upload and download to the web.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I could be down with some of this shit.
Chrome would have to be like the like the equivalent of like, you know, a fucked up car compared to, well, I don't know, Explorer is probably there too. Shit, Safari. No, you know what? They're just all in the ghetto, all three of them.
Explorer would definitely be the ghetto.
Yo, would that change our like the way we tell jokes? It'd be like, yo, a Safari, a Chrome, and an iOS walked into a bar. You're like, okay.
No, they'd be like a Safari, a Chrome, and an iOS all type in bar.
Kinda, yeah.
Bar.com. That would be fucking.
What happens when a binary chicken crosses the road? What the fuck? Stupid. Oh shit. That's pretty good. If your girlfriend is using Internet Explorer, would you have to wait 40 minutes to fuck her?
Oh.
Fuck that, dude.
You'd have to wait longer if you had like 8 gigs of RAM and you were using Chrome. I mean,
yeah, if you're not using something to cover your love like a antiviral, man, then you're fucked.
Like if you're going after Sally, you better get the McAfee package.
McAfee package. That's hella funny.
Ad blocker would make things pretty interesting then, wouldn't it?
Like, babe, I don't want to hear that shit. Turn the ad blocker on.
Oh, you're telling me about some bullshit you saw at the store? Nope, I'm going to activate ad blocker.
That's fucking ridiculous. Can you imagine your relationship being summed up by a software at that point? That would be funny.
Dude, they need to invent that shit, really.
Like, hey,
I'd buy it.
Babe, I can't hear you right now. Some adware's playing. Oh, did you clean your shit up? No, I guess not. It's just an anti-bitching button that you get pre-installed.
Oh, hell yes.
Sorry, babe, I can't hear you.
I think if they could just like if they did with remote control, just figure out how to put a rewind button on life, that would be cool.
Yeah. Well, shit.
What? What'd you do?
Nah, nothing. Nothing at all.
Ah! Porn stars will use Patreon to allow you to get in.
That
would be amazing. E-cash.
So you have to go.
Did you see?
You have to go to the doctor and say.
Did you just see what Cyrus typed? Sorry.
What do you say?
He says, this will come full circle. Computers will claim sexual assault for inserting flash drives or touching the keyboard aggressively.
I can see the hashtag Me Too movement on that one.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Can you imagine the social movement on a cyber scale? It'd be like, yeah, so we have some anti-dot, dot hackers going against main kernel programming today. Like, the fuck?
So then we wouldn't be able to call it cyberbullying. We'd just have to call it bullying.
Yep.
An email would just be mail. Like that would change. It would change your whole language. Like,
although at the end of the day, AIDS is still AIDS. I mean,
yeah. Well, AIDS is that blue screen.
God damn it. Like, you guys got the blue screen of death? Yep. Well, fuck. I'm not gonna fuck you then. Why? You might have a bad dim. Oh, fuck.
I'd like they'd upload me into a fucking Xbox.
Hey, you got 3 OSs to choose from, man.
Like, well, shit, I'm not getting played with.
Oh, come on, baby. Touch my buttons. Touch my buttons. Oh, yeah. Come on, baby. Yeah, push my stick in. Oh yeah, that's my stick.
You've thought about this way too much.
It's like, shh, it's okay. This is my first time too.
That goes back to like that one movie where I forgot what Judge Dredd I think it was or something, to where like they were having sex but they no longer allow physical contact, so they just basically look at each other and close
Not
their
Dredd.
eyes and
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man, yeah.
Yeah.
He's all,
that would be so,
Taco Bell saved us. It's Taco Bell.
yeah, like that would not be cool at all. That takes away all the fun of sex.
They're like, yeah, Taco Bell helped bail us out of the food crisis. And it was like, what? And like Sylvester Stallone's like, Taco Bell, huh? Like he knows it's a shitty franchise to begin with. Even though me and Shay love that shit, but we all know that that's not the ideal food. And then that movie, they're like, yeah, this is gourmet. Taco Bell.
Yeah, I had people pulling up to Taco Bell to get like valet parked and everything, and I'm like, yeah, that shit just would not happen at fucking Taco Bell.
There was a Taco Bell that burnt down, and I saw the other day on a Facebook video.
Oh yeah,
people were outside mourning for that Taco Bell.
Wow,
like not even joking. At the end of the video, a black lady had a song for Baja Blast. I'm not kidding, dude. I'm really not.
Come on, Shane, you know that shit was hilarious.
Oh my
dude,
Lord.
I'd probably be doing that too.
She was screaming that Baja Blast song, like she was yelling it to the top of the roofs, man. That shit was so fucking funny though. I was like, yo, like, is this real? Like, I thought the guys were fucking with me when I saw it. Like, yeah, man, it's real. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, the actual news was covering it and everything. Was there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Anybody ever figure out the secret between the three seashells?
Huh? The secret between the three seashells?
That Sally sells down by the seashore?
Demolition Man, you don't remember?
Oh, no,
like, he had to
I
wipe
don't
his
remember
ass
that.
with three seashells?
Oh, yeah, yes, yeah. And you know what? They never explained that. Even in the fandom afterwards, like people, I read up on. I went to the fucking internet to try to figure out what the fuck that was for, and nobody could explain what the hell it was about. I was so mad because it leaves you wanting to know what the hell is gonna what the hell was that in the future, you know?
I have an angry black man in my house. You guys just ignore it.
Like 2 minutes before you're about to come, do you have constipation?
My C.
What was that?
My C drive.
Was that a kid or?
Yeah, she's singing or something. I don't know.
Well, no, that's fine. I was wondering if that was a kid or a cat. I was like, shit, man, if that cat's really in here.
No, that was the kid strangling the cat. So yeah, it was a mixture.
Baja Blast. No, but is there anything you guys want to talk about, or you want to go ahead and end it?
I can end it so I can play some games.
How come you're not gaming right now? Why are you being a gay guy, huh?
If we end it, I think I got time for another platinum before I go to bed.
And I've been playing America's Army on
Hood Rat Central.
Hood Rat Central. I am currently on the team of the Crips. We're doing pretty good.
The Crips are taking over LA, man. We're doing good.
Yo, for real, homie, you feel me? It's like, Jesus.
So are we just teaching the Crips tactical training?
Pretty much. Pretty much. That's usually a thing. But anyways, I guess we could end this off with a normal. Shane was practicing his gag reflexes last week, you guys. I'm so proud of him.
Nuh-uh.
What do you mean, I heard you go, and I was like, what are you doing, dude? You're like, well, I got, if I'm gonna go to jail eventually, I want to know my shit. I'm like, oh.
I want to be ready.
I better not ever end up in jail. I'll just straight kill myself.